And like we said before, how it landed, everything sounds different. I think that was a pretty big clue that she did not hear the drop from heaven.
That nade, the paranoia, another kill going in favor of SMG, and Sarah can do nothing against this. SMG drop one. It was really off of the opener, really. I mean, G2 had the numbers lead at the beginning, and SMG took it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, again, it seems like Mimi getting a little bit caught off guard in these positions is kind of costing them a couple of these rounds from the last game. And now this game, I mean, I understand playing up and playing a little bit more aggressive, not over peaking, but still playing that spot. But who was there to support? Looks like there was some sort of miscommunication or some sort of misplay in the crossfire. When you want to fall back to site and you have numbers like that, you need a good crossfire to hold because you are giving up that space. But unfortunately, not much to do here, but we do see the walk-up A main. I like this from G2.
Oh, hello. Surprise. And they get both? Kahaibi's now here. The trip is going to be tough, but it's just a ghost. Never mind, the Bulldog was there too. All good. It got messy, but all good.
Yeah, I mean, just super quick reactions from SMG, like we said. They're just like, oh, they're pushing, let's go back and fight.
Let's go
Both
fight,
teams would react, just run away, and they're like, oh, well, they're stacked there. But again, SMG with the confidence, looking good.
This is where the game really begins, though, now that G2 have a little bit of weaponry to fight back with. Light armor the whole way, rifles, and, you know, given how messy some of that previous round was, I think things still look decently well for SMG. You've got a Vandal, and you have two Spectres you're carrying forward, Sheriffs the rest of the way. This is fine for SMG, really.
Yeah, definitely a convertible round for them here as they look to take that mid. Super fast take from the Neri, but it gets instantly punished by Petra. A very heavy mid control, but not much space that they could take, and losing their entry fragger instead.
I like the swagger and the aggression behind that play call, but I mean, Petra just handled it beautifully. You know, given some of these conversations around the role changes and how are G2 going to respond, you heard Carcass talking about it yesterday, the fact that they felt like they needed to make something different, right? They needed to bring a change into this tournament. And, I mean, Petra seems to only be getting more comfortable in the role as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, and another really good read from G2 here on their defensive side because they did play a 1-3-1, ready to punish any mid-control, trusting that their sentis on both sides are just enough to hold it down. We have Cypher still spawning today, and Omen alone on the B site, where SMG is starting to regroup.
That flashback site, the wall actually should have prevented Glance from getting flash. Either way, repositions around Pillar. Petra's here, Shirazi has already taken a little bit of damage, and there it is, the kill found. And yes, sweet, but things seem to be converting in favor of G2, but hold the phone for just a moment. Alexi and Kahaibi still in a position to win this one out. It's going to be difficult, but it is doable. Kahaibi flashed, has to take a slight step back. How do they handle this? The first flash forward, the shot's just barely missing, and G2 avoid the bonus. They're on the board.
A good round from both sides here, actually. Getting two guns down. Definitely a good sign from both these teams that they're understanding how the other team is playing. The util used on site to get out. I mean, I don't think that SMG should have gotten that many kills. Honestly, I don't think they should have gotten those 2 kills. The instant shutdown from Petra in mid, as we talked about earlier, just amazing. And Sarah and Petra holding it down. And again, retake looking really clean. G2 starting to clean up a little bit of the loose ends that they were having that was making them lose those rounds, the small mistakes. And as we can see, it's starting to pay off here because they had each other's backs in that round.
Yeah, a continued focus from the defensive side towards mid, as we'll often see.
Blinded.
And split, we're kind of nearing this area of split where the beginning of the map is just like an exchange of utility, like a trade, a molly here, a molly there, a flash here, one for the other. Then things settle, and then things just explode.
Yeah, I mean, that Viper gas towards mid is always annoying to deal with, and the Viper gas towards A, so both these teams need to get that information past this Viper utility. I mean, the delay in mid is just so strong. They're cycling these smokes, making sure that mid is a lot harder to get than they think it's going to be. They need to use some sort of dog and flash to get up towards mid. But the Ruva and the flash coming in towards Vents, denying the push out. Neri trying to get that first pick, but Petra denying it once again.
Very nicely done. Had enough delay with the nade and the Viper spit that we talked about, and then the swing out, which is very nicely handled. Mid is just not available right now. Sarah and Petra have done such an exceptional job at denying that space, and then they quickly rotate B. Remember, we saw Petra in this exact position previous round with 30 HP, gets another kill. This time, Alexi just obliterates 3 of them. We're back on the multi-kills. We're back on the confidence for SMG. Glad spotted by the Seekers. No real way to keep position concealed.
Spike planted.
Holy smokes,
remaining.
2 fall. Alexi's left alone. Glance with 3 of her own.
What is going on? Both sides of these teams just getting multi-frags both ways. Amazing, like truly a brawl at B side. I mean, I did not expect Alexi to get 3 there. The round looked almost completely dealt with. But again, just the small little peaks from G2, the confidence, like you said, coming in from SMG, allowing them to get these peaks. But Glance absolutely shutting that down, shutting that idea down. Both these teams are out. Claws are out.
And voices are allowed again from the players, from the coaches. Massive round, breaking SMG, back just to Sheriffs. Choosing not to buy into this, really. And you've got a couple of ults on the side of G2 as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to be a nice little A split, trying to get that mid control, smoking off towards Male. They have the 2 players outside of A ready to speed up on the mid player's contact. This is something that's looking like a really easy setup. Omen with the spike falling all the way back after getting Sky and Raze into that heaven. And now it's just up to how these players on G2 react, because they do have a trip in heaven. It's not going to be easy to get this space.
No, yeah, it's going to be really difficult. And you've got Mimi who's playing over the trips as well. I think this will be tough sledding if they choose to continue to go this way. As if the weapon difference wasn't enough. But try they will. And Airy already spotted on the first. Unlucky. Getting caught with utility out. The flash. There's the swing, and the kill comes through for Mimi. And Airy has fallen. A very nice trade, though, out from Kahibi. But again, you know, we talked so much about how this is really going to be difficult space to take. As yeah, they've gotten a kill. They haven't really gotten any more space than they had at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking a little bit dangerous there for G2, but again, the teamwork of flashing and popping through that smoke together, immediately calling Petra over was such a good play, such a good way to capitalize. I mean, Mimi unfortunately just pulling out her flash, but that happens. You know, and now they're gonna commit towards that A, trying to get a pick. Roxy actually denying that info at Cypher. And such a beautiful, beautiful round from G2. It looked a tiny bit scary. Kohibi spamming through the smoke, getting 1, but again, not much you can do on an eco when you're trying to face against Cypher and Cypher trips, other than race satchels. But Mimi again and Petra just playing so well together in this scenario.
Yeah, it just really feels like, again, they've done such a good job of establishing mid, allowing them to quickly rotate to the extremities once they figure out where the hit is.
Yeah.
It was spotty at the beginning, but this has become a very nice adaptation now from G2.
Yeah, now we need to see how SMG is going to react towards this mid-hold that they've been trying so hard to get past, but not really successfully doing it. Petra taking a sneaky little peek out, getting hit a lot. We do have to have the Sky rotate in order to heal. So G2 still trying to hold down that mid, showing their presence, showing their pressure, and Raze and Sky from the SMG side still trying to poke and prod and get that info.
Poison's off.
4 ults on the defensive side. Really everything it could want, you'd imagine.
Yeah, from SMG, this is looking like a much slower pace than what we've normally seen them play at. The dog getting all that info, Petra trying to peek out, but being denied by the Omen smoke. Again, grouping up towards one side. That is kind of how split is supposed to be played. I mean, you need to get some sort of mid-info, or you need to execute. But this slow pace is not at all what I was expecting from SMG.
No, not at all.
I must wait a moment.
You see the flash coming over the top of the smoke towards heaven, and now an Airy will go forward. Caught by the trip, caught by Roxy,
30 seconds
and no real shot to do much more. They're going to commit onto the Otis. Roxy continues to lock the site down. 2 kills already found. Reinforcements have arrived, but it might fall onto Roxy on her own. She's still back site, has taken some damage. Alexi cleans her up. Mimi left by herself. A 1v2 position given away. Oh, just barely missing the shots onto Alexi. Seekers dropped Kahibi.
Spike planted.
Can she stay alive? Mimi's on the swing, and Kahibi's on the trade.
Oh my god, Alexi just bringing this round so much closer than it needs to be, and then rounding it out. Alexi and Kohibi, that duo on site, perfectly played. Insane round. Again, like I told you, it's going to come down to these different mechanical things that are making G2 or SMG get the round. This was actually insane. I did not expect it to go this way at all.
No.
The entry was killed almost immediately due to the trip, but SMG was just so patient on their take that they managed to get those kills. They managed to get G2 as they were trying to flood out into sight and punish them.
Petra getting the opener with the op. Again, establishing control of the middle of the map. A great start for G2.
Yeah, that op, something that they didn't necessarily need, but I think a really good addition to his defense side, and immediately moving away from mid towards that A site, putting Petra there with the Cypher, able to rotate 3 people towards that beat. They're ready for this take, but SMG are just farming orbs. I mean, now they have this Viper Pit, and they have the Omen ult, and now they have the Sky ult as well. Really good orb farming, just leaving Viper here. They made them rotate. They made them second guess, but it doesn't matter because Mimi is just floating in between both sides.
Seems like they're going to end towards Glance and towards Sarah, the 2 controllers who have done such a good job of controlling the map, as is so aptly named. Now in the face of the Seekers, what will they do with it? A deep flash. Oh, they're TPing onto this as well. The Paranoid's doing a really good job to delay, and then you've got the Molly backside, but Camille's behind them already. They've got the pit down too. How are they going to handle all this aggression that's just come out from the side of SMG? They've established almost control. They're going to have a late flank coming in from Kohibi, though. And is that going to be the difference? It's just Kami, you left in a 1v2. Spike in hand, but how did they get back out with only 13 seconds left? Roxy down low and weak. She's gotten ones. 10 seconds has gotten past Pillar. Should be able to get the spike down. Mimi's just so much healthier. It's going to take a massive mistake for this not to go their way. Kamiyu with the fake TP. Daring Mimi to check the smoke. Although the clock is ticking, Kami, you can't sit here forever, and Mimi gets the shots. The kills go in favor of G2, and so will the round.
Oh my god, these rounds are so back and forth and back and forth. The second I think someone is winning, the other team just absolutely obliterates, and then there's trades on trades. It just shows how good both these teams are at playing crossfires, at playing together, at playing trades. And G2 was out on site so fast that even though Camille TP'd backside, she still couldn't catch them off guard when they're rotating into that site. And again, just a beautiful round here by Mimi. So patient, so patient for Camille to peek and played absolutely amazingly.
A ton of discipline from the star of G2. And again, it was off the opener of the pick in the on the middle of the map from the op, which is still in line in the hands of Petra.
Yep, she is going back towards that mid to try to see if she gets a pick. Again, holding that sewers line, the flash is going past her, and she does manage to get it down on Alexi. They did not learn from their mistakes. This mid is being absolutely shut down by G2, and SMG does not have an answer to it yet.
Yeah, it's just been so difficult for them to get any space there. And as we've talked about a little bit, the nature of the map, like, you're going to have a really hard time finding success on attack side split if you can't control mid.
Yeah. I mean, a team, they're not even playing that heavy towards mid.
Yeah, they're really not.
Like some teams, you know, they're 1-3-1ing mid. Okay, great, sites are open, but it's only 2 players towards mid. And one of those players is super fast at rotating, and they still cannot get through on the attacker's side, even though it is only 2 players holding it down.
Oh, we're committing. Oh my. Yeah, we're committing indeed. Look at that trip. I don't know how the trip didn't land. I don't know how the showstopper landed. You still got Roxy backside. Finally cleared. It got messy for a second, but things seem to be stabilizing as Roxy locks the site down. 3 on the round for her. Shirazi left alone.
30 seconds left.
And that, I'm really surprised that they committed that as hard as they did.
Yeah, I mean, popping the ult, it was a winning condition, I guess, to try to turn the round around, but again, like, such a weird way because they did not have any like aiming space like that hard. And we have Shirazi trying to play and get a pick, but nothing, literally nothing. They did not have enough space. They did not have enough information to do that. And like you said, the Cypher trips, so scary to play against.
Yeah. We
talked about this earlier on Split. Cypher's so hard to play against, especially as a Raze, unless you're clearing those with the Sky Dog or something. again, I don't know. That was pretty wild to watch. I think on an eco, sending your Razel, unless you have a solid plan on how you're gonna punish these players, not necessarily my favorite choice.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. SMG calling a timeout. They find themselves down 2 rounds with a gun round just on the other side of this very momentary break. I think, you know, you and I have talked about this a ton. They've got to find some room to breathe across the middle of the map. And I don't know if that just looks like applying some pressure on site to draw the rotations out from mid so that then they can breathe and move or whatever it is. But I think if they continue to persist this way, it's going to be a great half for G2.
Yeah, I mean, they tried going fast, they tried going slow, they tried using util, they tried just walking up. None of them seem to have an answer for how to contest this. And like I said, they were just playing 2 players towards mid. It's not like G2 is putting too much heavy pressure towards mid. Again, pressuring extremities, it could work, but also making sure that they're using the correct util, making sure that they're using that Skydog effectively, running up with it, ignoring the Viper orb, and making sure they have that confidence to just go through, because cycling those smokes and orbs, you're never going to be able to just wait it out.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's so difficult to deal with. They last forever.
Yeah.
Where do SMG go from here? Lean towards A with some presence mid, but take a look at Petra's got a different angle. My memory might be failing me here, but I don't remember her having this angle out from garage. It's primarily been mid.
Yeah, taking her off towards mid and rotating off seems to have been the play, but a super fast push into ropes and a Neri getting the pick with the judge. That was the answer that they needed, but Mimi immediately trading her out, shutting down all of that, but they still commit to the A split here.
That was an excellent response. We were asking, how are they going to get mid control? That's how you do it. And
Judge.
not only do that, Satchel, Judge, Flash, win game. Not only that, though, Shirazi also got so far up. Look at how deep this Viper wall is. It's going to give them so much room to breathe A. It's going to force G2 to play really far back here.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good wall, but again, we still have Roxy just alive, on site, ready. She has her trip up. She's playing so patient. She's peeking into that heaven. They don't care about heaven, because at the end of the day, SMG has to get onto the site and push control. They are aware that spawn is open, but that is not an issue, because they're going to hold that site down, play a crossfire, Roxy trying to stay alive, and the execute starts.
Mimi gets caught. Roxy gets caught, too. It seemed like Mimi just tried catching a cheeky little area there to catch him slipping, but on the other side of the timeout, SMG find massive success. And again, it was off the flash, the double satchel mid, and a judge in the face of whoever was unfortunately there. I think it was Sarah at the beginning. A brutal way to go, but some room to breathe for SMG.
Yep, well played. They sped up the pace of the round at the beginning and then ended towards that A again. The Viper wall putting up some sort of pressure, forcing them to play onto that site. So dangerous, because what ended up happening was Omen blinded Roxy off and Mimi was stuck in a one-and-done position in hell. So again, crossfires need to be played in those sort of scenarios where they know they have to play on site. They know they're giving up so much space towards heaven and spawn. So they have to be able to play together in a way that they can see all the choke points around them. Because again, they could have just pushed spawn and like gone right behind them, but they just chose to leave that open. So again, understandably, Mimi went towards that hell spawn in order to not be seen by screens, but ended up shooting her in the foot because the Omen blind made Roxy not be able to support her in whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, it was really well considered by SMG when you think about how they chose to play that out, because you're right, you put them in a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Right? If you play off site, you've lost sight.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to retake. If you play on, you're screwed.
Exactly.
That netted them some success. Alexi getting some info with the flash early on towards vents. And that seems to be, again, an adaptation, because remember, it was the previous round we saw Petra set up garage.
Yeah.
Not the case this time, given some of the investment of utility that we saw from SMG towards mid.
Yep, the Viper out going down off of that off contact, allowing Petra to go rotate that off towards B, but she doesn't know that it's the wrong site because SMG's all grouped up outside of A main.
You're going to hear it now. You see the nades, you see the smokes, and everyone going above the trips, and that's all right. Mimi got the kill. It was messy for a moment. Roxy's still alive. Pit's still in play, but it's going to go down in just a moment as Roxy continues. My goodness, she's so freaking stalwart on A. It's outrageous. Now Kamiyu left alone, spike out of hand, and no real options to work with.
Yeah, Roxy being an absolute beast on site, showing why she's a Sentinel, why she's playing on site, not scared to get off and play with her trips. But again, a 1v3, not looking too good for
30
SMG
seconds left.
here. G2 just creeping out, and Petra with the op. I mean, that was so well played by Roxy, just staying alive, making sure she's on site. And Neri needs to buy a Phantom. Because on Vine, that satchel stuff was working.
Yeah.
And now she's satcheling in with the Vandal. It's not working as well as it should. I mean, that trip, so good. Roxy playing for so long that no one could get a trade here. I mean, looking a little bit like an executional error from SMG's side, that not a single trade could be made. But again, G2, Roxy, man, she played that well.
We had done so well.
Yeah.
We had gone a full, almost map and a half.
We almost made it.
We
without
almost,
a tech pause,
we
but
almost made it. But alas, here we are with the tech pause in play. Once we know what's going on, we will let you all know. But yeah, I think again we've got to talk about how good Roxy has been as an anchor. We've got to talk about how good G2 continue to be at controlling mid-map, and then once they feel where the pressure is, they very quickly rotate out. Mimi being able to be there early on to save the day for Roxy allowed Roxy to get those 2 kills back screens. It was very nicely played.
Yeah, I mean, right now for SMG, it's not looking too good. I mean, they're struggling towards mid. They're struggling towards A. They're trying to have these splits, but they can't really manage them because the early round game where they're trying to get that space in mid is just absolutely not working for them. So the A execute, yeah, it was okay, but what are you going to do against Roxy?
Right.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing way more B pressure here coming in from SMG because they know that that's the weak side. They know that Omen is playing there. They know that they're playing towards mid in order to rotate towards that B rafters and play towards them. So I think right now that's probably an answer that they need, that they're going to try doing. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Petra just sets up that op in B main and starts pressuring back towards SMG. I mean, Petra even has been doing such a good job.
Yeah.
She ops mid, rotates off immediately. Ops B main, no one's there, rotates off. Ops towards ropes, rotates towards A. Like, it's such a good setup for Petra in order to be having these lines and like giving them that space.
We'll see how they choose to adapt. Again, it was on the other side of a timeout that it felt like SMG had found a little bit of room to work with. The adaptations in the chess match continue between these two squads, and it's been a gift of a series already. I mean, you think about how close map 1 was, how close this first half has been. It wasn't really until the end of the first map that SMG kind of ran away with it, and finally were able to, you know, kind of put G2 away, but that just does not feel like the case this map.
Yeah, and Split specifically, it is a little bit rough on the attack side. So that being said, SMG with 4 rounds, it's not bad. It really isn't. But the biggest issue that SMG is facing is that they cannot find their footing in order to set their own pace at the game. It really feels like they're playing towards G2's pace, and G2 doing such a good job at shutting down, rotating, shutting down again. The only small little mistakes that they've been making in those like small crossfire scenarios or giving up a little bit too much space has been the reason for the downfall of a couple of these maps. But other than that, they are looking solid on the defense side.
No, yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. Again, the tech pause, gear.
Gear.
I hate when gear happens.
Don't you just hate it when gear?
Yeah, I hate when gear. That's the worst.
Gear.
Again, gear, but we are working to get back into the action very quickly. Again, a 1-0 series lead in favor of SMG, sitting pretty, close things out on Bind 13-8. But now they find themselves in a bit of a different story here on Split. You mentioned how the attack side of Split tends to be problematic. So you get 4, you get 5 round. That's okay.
Good.
Yeah, we'll take those.
Yeah.
Where do they go from here? They have four rifles. They've really invested into this. It's just Alexi with the Sheriff.
Yeah.
Oh, Roxy's really far ahead of this. You've got to be careful. Yeah, she may have bit off a bit more than she could chew. Off of the dog, tries to take some space, gets caught, gives up the neural theft as well.
We were just gassing up Roxy on how well that she's playing, how patient she's playing on site, and immediately she has to make us eat our words because peeking into that A main, yes, they tried to do it util. It was unfortunate, but Kahaibi actually getting the pick and regrouping towards that B site to go instantly into an execute. Such a good response.
Mimi's here to help, but they've already gotten around Pillar, and I don't know that Mimi knows. Oh, Glance was there to help. They hold the line. It's actually Mimi who's the surprise. In the face of the flash. Somehow, Roomba not clearing him out. Mimi's still here. This has been so patient. These crossfires that they've set up are gorgeous. I don't know how SMG is going to get past this, but they managed to anyway. Mimi continues to be the thorn in their side as a third kill goes in favor of the initiator. Kahaibi trying to dodge bullets, trying to dodge the op to stay alive. Still so much to do. The spike not even in hand. You got to deal with Petra. Success. That's 3 on the round. A 1v1. Can Mimi put this away? She's already got 3 kills. Make that 4. The round for G2.
Mimi, oh my god, Mimi, what a round. That was crazy. Man, G2 rotated so fast. Petra instantly giving up that mid line, setting her off towards that A ramp. They instantly knew that SMG was going towards B. They did not commit to A. And the super quick response, Mimi and Glance setting up that perfect crossfire. Exactly what I told you earlier when these crossfires are so important, and they got it down. That is the reason why G2 are playing this so well now.
Again, opting for aggression mid. You know, we saw it a couple of rounds ago. It was with the Judge. This time it's with the Bucky. And there's no one here, but Petra popping the showstopper, not finding a target.
Yeah, this mid control going super fast. SMG finally tired of playing at G2's pace, taking it into their own hands, putting pressure towards that ropes. But we do have the whole team in mid here. Not a single player from SMG's side towards the mains. They don't know where they're gonna end. Poking and prodding, breaking Cypher Cam, breaking Util. Really good space taken, but where they end is gonna be so important because there are 3 players ready with the op towards this B site. The Raptors peek, but Petra whips.
The paranoia out. They got the deep Viper's wall that we saw a couple of rounds ago, this time towards B. And they committed on this really hard. The paranoia out from Glance. Shirazi still somehow lands a shot with a Bulldog and a classic. They've gotten out onto the site. They've got numbers. They've even gotten the op out of Petra's hands into the hands of Shirazi.
Oh my goodness, what a response from SMG, just absolutely shutting it down. Only from B Heaven, which is insane, but G2 trying to figure out a retake with these numbers.
Here.
Kahaibi spotting Sarah. A 1-for-1 does not add up when you find yourself in a 3v5.
1 enemy remaining.
It's all on to Roxy. A 1v4. Holy smokes. All right. Neural theft, keeping things close. She's already gotten it onto 2. Time is short, though. This has to be fast. Roxy, 3 on the round. Waiting for the swing, and the smoke is going to cause problems. Can she hold it the whole way? Kami, you just on the other side of the smoke. Oh, I don't know that she has time. This is going to be outrageous, and we're not going to see it, but I'm assuming it plays out. What a round from Roxy. Unbelievable.
That was absolutely insane. SMG scrambling in order to get back into B main, but not enough time because Roxy just takes that peek, does not care. What a Red Bull clutch. Look at this spray chance for Doug. Holy.
Enemy remaining.
I mean, unbelievable. Managed to get it to half, and that was the difference maker. Even took the damage down to 11 HP. I mean, if that's not a spark, I'm not really sure what is. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, Roxy really making it up for us because she did go towards that main, but again, showing who she is as Senti.
Yesterday, we spoke with SMG's and Ari about that wild quadruple duelist comp that broke the internet in today's matchup against G2. Take a listen.
Hi everyone, my name is Aneri. I'm from Team SMG. I feel very excited and relieved because our first map, it was kind of a disaster because we picked the wrong agents and we made a mistake. It worked out, and I think I can give ideas to the coach that, hey, maybe we can play 4 duos next time in the future also. But then we kind of adapted to what we picked at Lotus, and then we finished it out. It was a good score, 13-4, I think.
You have the benefit of playing in the post plan, of forcing EG to be the ones to make a move. It's just a tap. It's just to make the second confirm. The first goal falls. The second does too. A Red Bull clutch as SMG gets a series point.
As for my next matchup against G2, I have always watched their games a lot. they're very super good. Their firepower is super strong, and I think they have super good executions. So I am quite excited for this matchup because I think it would be like a super hard matchup, but I think it's quite exciting.
Exciting.
Ref, absolute heroics from Roxy and the pop-off on stage. G2 getting back to the G2 that we know and expect on the other side of that half, Athena.
That was crazy. Roxy, I mean, you can see she is still smiling from that clutch. What a round, and what a way to end the half. I mean, we were talking about how it is attack-sided. 4 rounds on attack. It's doable, but G2 is just looking so clean in the last few rounds that I think when it comes to this, we're going to have to see a lot more confidence from SMG.
Well, confidence isn't something that they've lacked domestically or internationally, so we expect them to have more of that, and we already see some aggressive plays towards Garage. Look at that. A jump spot out from Garage, the TP across. They're already denying space.
Yeah, fighting for that B main control. They don't care about B heaven. We have Cypher gonna be rotating towards that, but they understand that that is space that they're giving up, and they're competing for that B main status, allowing their team to rotate. Really, really interesting. But Mimi just walking up on Shirazi and ropes. That is not how you want to be playing that. Trying to do a trap set, but it did not work out.
No. They're going to continue to scale up into Heaven too. Kahibi's going to have to back off. The Satchel out on site. They know they have 2 members in Garage crunched. Petra's not able to take care of him. Roxy's not either, but Mimi does. Of course it's Mimi who does. Who else? They've gotten the site. They have the spike. And I imagine it's going down.
Yeah, Alexi Kohibi in this 2v3, but again, numbers speak louder than words, but Kohibi with 1, not being able to clutch it out. What a round. I mean, these 2 players took B main. They had such heavy B main presence. It would have worked if they had just picked one of the sides to fight. But unfortunately, that death towards ropes meant that B heaven was on the weaker side, and that they were getting crunched from both sides of the map. Like, that was so unfortunate for SMG. I saw the vision, but it did not work out because G2 saw it too.
Yeah.
And absolutely
Mimi saw it.
Yeah, Mimi. Well, Mimi happened.
Yeah, Mimi happened.
And then SMG, yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It seems like we're just destined for Haven at this point as G2. It seemed like a situation where SMG honestly desperately needed that pistol, and they have so much they can work with here. Petra's got a Vandal. They've invested so much, wanting to put this map away, wanting to make sure they go the distance.
Yeah, and a reminder, Doug, that this is SMG's pick.
Yeah.
For maps, so interested to see how confident they are. Obviously, this pistol round not going to be much of a caliber for what we know SMG is going to be doing, but the contact play coming in from G2, just walking up, knowing that they're confident, that they're heavy towards mid, clearing the sites together. Free site, SMG, not much to work with now, but they do have a fast flank.
Fast flank and pistols, a frenzy to work with, although that's going to be coming up from Heaven. I imagine that'll be difficult to find success with. Shirazi getting 1, trampling forward, upgrading weapon, and all of a sudden this is a bit more of a fair fight, but doesn't matter as Petra wins that out nonetheless. Hey, you imagine G2 here get through this, keep as many weapons as they can, get to 10, and maybe farm a couple of orbs on the way out via the kills of Alexi and Kahibi, and continue to try to set them up to potentially win this next bonus and put the map away.
Yeah, G2 looking to not lose any more guns here, because they did already lose the 1 towards B main. They're falling back together in the group, and we're gonna see Kohibi and Alexi die towards that spike just to see them get the full buy for the next gun round.
This is an ever pivotal round, really, in the grand scheme of things, because, you know, you imagine the first rifle round for SMG in the second half. This is, I mean, you have to win now, right? I mean, like, you've got to win this round.
They literally need this round, because if they lose this round, it will be 11 rounds for G2, and they're gonna be broke. They're gonna have to force some crazy buy in order to play for the win. But again, so important, and the way that they're gonna be playing it is gonna be against an A rush.
And it's so difficult too, because this bonus from G2 is not nothing. They've got 3 rifles, of all kinds. I mean, they've got the Bulldog, they've got the Phantom, and they have the Vandal. This is not just like Spectres or Stingers and Pistols.
Yeah, definitely going to be hard, but we actually see them contacting up towards that Heaven, trying to punish the Cypher setup, the Cypher cam, looking to find anything. They do spot a player towards Heaven, and instead have rotated to play for the site. Sky still alive on site, playing with the trips. Ropes is open, mid is open, Spawn is starting to get close, but there's so much space here for G2 to take.
The nice thing from SMG, though, is they've denied a lot of the space, so you're starting to see some of these rotates toward A already. You've got Raze, who's already halfway through. Petra satcheling got onto side, caught by the trip. The spam not landing. Kahibi somehow, Alexi somehow still alive. And SMG slammed the door on this hit. Unless Petra can kick it down once more. It's Petra, Aneri, a 1v1. Petra, the weaker of the two. Having to reposition, Kamiyu and Shirazi still have plenty to work with. Got the paranoia, really no shot for Petra, and a great round from SMG.
Yeah, looking really, really good with the rotates. Like you said, Omen taking that full beaming control, allowed SMG to rotate, allowed Shirazi to be in that spawn, looking at Heaven and peek out with smoke to get these beautiful kills that just turn the round around into their favor. And Neri getting this final kill. Such a good start for SMG on their gun round, looking like they have a read with the info, and they're gonna start to set up towards this mid, the 1-3-1.
We talked about how much SMG needed that round. They found it with great success, but you're really just kind of getting started on this comeback that you're gonna have to pull off. Down 5 rounds, but a heavy investment mid. You talked about it. This 1-3-1 defensive setup is gonna force G2 to look elsewhere.
I mean, it's really interesting because they are opting to play double up in that ropes, in that vents area. They tried playing that little trap setup, but again, Sky falling off to get that information towards aiming. Super important that they see the Viper lurking, but again, now they're playing weaker towards mid. Oh, Alexi with the kill on Petra. As soon as I said that, she rotated right in time, but Mimi getting a kill and trade happening towards mid. It is a war zone in mid, and Spike has been dropped by G2.
Ooh. I thought that was going to be ugly to watch for a second. Sarah getting the kill, and Roxy on the extremity too. Do they know? I don't think they know. Kahibi's right behind them.
I have the spike.
They've managed to pick up the spike. They've managed to establish Control B, and the neural theft will give that away.
Kahibi stuck between a rock and a hard place. Left. She's walking up towards Heaven. Not much else that she can do. I mean, the cam spots her out. The neural theft spots her out. She's in a 1v2. It's probably con that Roxy is knowing that this is winnable. But again, the Viper has so much, the Viper has her orb to deny the B main push. Like, there's just so much against her right now. They're playing this crossfire, peek off me in spawn.
They're both so weak. They're both so weak. That's the first to fall. The second does too. 61 HP amongst both, and Kahibi laughs in the face of it. The defuse comes through as SMG get that round.
Dude, Kahibi winning the round that SMG desperately needs as well. This could be a momentum turner right here. Roxy 5 HP, really needed to stay alive for her teammate. The peek off me did not work. Kahibi, that is the fragging IGL that we know and love from SMG, just showing us why she's here.
Yo, that was a cold killer smile too. It wasn't a pop off, it was just like a very gentle, like, yeah, I did that. Fist bump. The crowd popped off harder than she did.
Yeah, and a timeout here, definitely a lot to talk about from both these teams. I mean, the double vent setup from SMG is so interesting because they got punished for it once, and they haven't been able to do much with it. The Sky looking to rotate between that mid and A Heaven to get information, to fight mid if they need to. A nice little float, but again, if red, like that is really, really hard to counter, because it's like,
yeah, absolutely.
You have Sky and Viper in Heaven, in ropes, and then you have Raze in Heaven. I would just avoid A, because that's like 3 people towards A, including your Sky, including your Cypher. Just go B. So, really interesting to see how GT is going to kind of wrap their heads around this, but SMG still sticking with, I think they're going to stick with what they know, because it is working out for them.
If it ain't broke, 4 rounds separating the 2 squads. You got a judge in the hands of Petra, 2 sheriffs, and then 2 bulldogs. Meanwhile, for SMG, you're healthy. You've got the neural theft from Kahibi, who's having an exceptional performance here. 17 and 10 for the Sentinel.
Yep, mid looking to be held by just a Viper this time. I was talking about that rope setup that they're opting not to do, and G2 actually taking their judge into ropes. This is actually a good read by SMG. Yes, they're losing a lot of space, but what are they gonna do with this judge now? Because they have put themselves in the long range positions that they have to fight towards A, and a judge is not gonna help with that. And we have this full beaming control from Raze and Omen, so Cypher and Sky should be ready to play for an A hit.
Here.
G2 quietly considering where they want to go. And if they do commit to this A hit, you're going to go into this T-set, the Cypher setup. You've got Alexi, who's going to be playing here as well. First flash just now used, excuse me, second flash now used. Going to have to wait a bit before we get one of those back online. And that's the window that G2 want to push in. The nade, making sure there's no one playing down in hell. The judge from that distance? What? Either way, Kahibi's there for the trade. She's going to have to deal with so much. The flood overwhelms her. She drowns Mimi now. There with the trade. The Sheriff finding value.
30 seconds left.
Glance weak, though. Very weak. Just got a little bit weaker. What can Shirazi do off the swing? Trying to find value out for that paranoia, and they just mow over what G2 had on the site. Yes, it was a lighter buy, and it caused some problems, but SMG walk away on top.
Yep, that Raze nade just delaying that plant for so long that it gave them time to set up in that spawn with the paranoia in order to retake 3v3. They made it so easy. They made it look so easy, but again, Petra with that entry, that should not have happened for Alexi, but Kahibi immediately getting the trades. This was a really great retake, really great setup. They delayed the bombs for so long that it was just really well done. Me too.
Big same. Big same. We got another tech pause. So we will let you all know what's going on. Again, an excellent read from SMG, right? We got to talk again about the fact that, you know, in the previous timeout, the double rope setup that the defense was showing, Petra decides, all right, we're just going to satchel into that. There's nobody there. It was beautifully handled. Yeah, like I said, like G2 got so much space. They thought they could do something with it. For a second, it did look like they could when Alexi got picked on that site. But again, like, they knew that they had to play back. They knew that G2 was an equal. They were ready to play those far back positions where they were tradable. Kohibi coming out of that smoke, yes, it was a little bit risky, but getting 2 was so worth it. Now, I don't know if G2 knows this, but SMG has been taking B main for free every round so far. For free. All they've been doing is throwing maybe an Omen smoke, maybe just a one-way. That's about it. They haven't needed to use any resources. And now if G2 tries to come back towards B main, they haven't seen this yet. The one time that they went in B main was when Roxy just kind of lurked for free into B main. They don't know that they're holding it down. So we don't even know if they're setting up a trap. They're ready to fight with this paranoia and Raze nade. It's going to be super dangerous. So now they need some sort of answer to how SMG is playing. And it's kind of like what we said before with G2. Like, G2 starting not to find the answers that they need as well. So again, definitely defense side of map. We're seeing it play out here. The score line is really close when you think about it, because they were down. The SMG only had 4 rounds coming into this half, and they seem to have built back up the momentum to get to 7. Got to 7, and again, to go back a little bit further, if it wasn't for Roxy's heroics to close out the half, I mean, we're talking 10-8 right now, and who knows, the defensive side of split proving to be the problem as Gear strikes again. Gear 2, maybe?
Oh, Gear 2?
No?
Man.
All right, my bad.
Gear 2.
My bad.
You know, maybe 10 years would be funny.
It does seem to be something on the SMG side of things, as the referee is very intently working with SMG to figure out what's going on. I'm being told by the good people behind the scenes that it is indeed a keyboard issue. So once we get that situated and rectified, we'll jump back into the action. It's a nail-biter that's gone down between these two squads. Just 3 rounds separating them, an 8-4 half in favor of G2, and we've been able to witness a pretty outrageous comeback from SMG, all things considered. That's not quite done, but it's got the makings of it.
Yeah, so we were talking about how Raze and Omen were taking B main. As soon as we said that, they switched up the setup. They have Omen playing with a Cypher trip towards B main, and Cypher just sprinting all the way across the A to place another one, setting up their Cypher cam and trip. What a crazy setup now. Cypher being able to hold down both sides with trips. Mid is completely open. Cypher just sitting with Sky towards A, looking like they're going to be fighting for A heaven, giving that A site. And we still have the ult, Raze ult on Inari. This trap could be super important.
Do they fall for it? Roxy clearing the first trip and deciding to go a little bit further. Sarah falls. There's the showstopper that you mentioned onto Roxy. They're trying to get ahead of the swing, ahead of the flash. Mimi's able to finally counter back a little bit, but as things slow down for just a moment, she looks around and realizes that her team's been decimated. It's just Glance and Mimi left.
Last player standing.
And that quickly changes to just Mimi.
Cover going out.
Dang, that was an Omen diff right there.
Wow.
And Kamiyu ending the round. Oh my goodness, what a setup from SMG. They were so ready for that A heaven split. Like I said, the Viper wall comes down, the flash comes out, Alexi spamming through his Viper cage, and Neri's here ready with her showstopper. Such a good read. I mean, this A heaven was shut down. It was locked down, and that Cypher setup was just beautiful. A little bit risky because they did take some time getting back towards that A site, but it's not going to be a problem this round because Cypher is fully set up towards that B site, and A is held by 3 of these players.
To pin across mid. The Dog's going to spot a little bit, but the counter paranoia is great. Roxy still pushing forward though. Cabbages in her lap, has to take a step back, upgrades a weapon. And any attempt at a fast, aggressive hit towards A is instantly stuffed.
Yep, G2 forcing a buyout and not getting that much into it because Viper has ulted towards mid. Cypher trip still up for SMG at B. They know it's going to be an A hit, but we see the G2 players dropping into vents, taking that space, trying to split with this Sky ult. This is going to be so detrimental for Shirazi unless she holds it down. Pushed out of her ult, but it doesn't matter because G2 is going back to A.
They bullied her out of her pit. The pit will fall, but you're right. It was all just a ruse. It was all just enough to push them back. They want to end A, and you've got Alexi who's close by. Kamiyu has now joined, as has Kohaibi. How do they go about this? Flashback sight. Alexi just so weak.
Scatter.
Committing the ult is Glance to get off site, leaving Mimi all to her lonesome with Roxy not too far off. But this ramp hold is going to be everything. They push into the orb. Alexi, they're weak. A 1-for-1. Can they find another? No, it's Shirazi who gets both. Still so weak. Roxy trying to turn the flash, and it's not enough. SMG get another.
That was beautifully played by SMG in a 4v4 retake. They know that the numbers are equal. They hear the Omen TP. They only assume that they've gotten offsite, but that ramp fight was brutal. Both teams fighting for it, and SMG coming out on top because they had the util. They had more numbers towards that ramp. Roxy again trying to hold it down in hell. So hard to be in that position when you're up versus just a stampede. And this kind of goes back to how they were playing earlier on Bind, where it was 3 or 4 of them just running in a wolf pack mentality, pushing towards G2. And not much can be done because, again, tactical pause I think is needed for G2. They forced that round.
Yeah.
Their money's a little messed up.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it looks like. I think you're right. It's not great, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. They invested the Seekers to get the pit out of the way, so it wasn't just even in the finances. Yeah. It wasn't just in the economy. From a financial perspective, it was the ult economy as well that's gotten things so dire and so close here. And again, I want to bring people back to some of the history that's at stake right now. 35-0 for SMG, and they're a couple of rounds away from pulling off a comeback, from 2-0ing the defending champions, and from keeping this streak alive. This has been an outrageous performance from Team SMG.
Yeah, SMG, I put them as my dark horse for a reason. This team is looking good, is looking solid, but that does not take away from G2, man. I mean, this team, they still have number advantage in map round numbers. Like, they are still here to play. They have the raise out, they have the Viper pit. All they have to do is get onto site. All they have to do is figure out where the loophole is in the defenses of SMG, and if anyone can do it, I think G2 can.
Light armor for all of them. And they still have two ults. They have Petra's Showstopper and then Sarah's Viper's Pit. No intent whatsoever on playing mid. They've just kind of given up on it for now. Maybe it'll be a bit delayed and they'll do it later on in the round, but they're just not interested in for the time being.
Yeah, looking like they might try to punish this Vents player, but little do they know that the Vents player has already left. Now, both of G2 Sentinels working up towards this A ramp, trying to find anything that they can, trying to break this Cypher util in order to put some pressure on SMG's side and make them rotate. But alas, not much is gonna happen because they still have all the info. They still have all the space towards mid. They know that nothing's gonna happen. And then Ari getting a pick onto Mimi. It's gonna be another Warzone on mid here.
Oh, unbelievable. It gets traded. Just when it felt like they had an advantage, just when it felt like they had some breathing room. But either way, Roxy now getting the kill onto Kahibi, getting the neural theft online, getting a little bit more room as Alexi just barely stays alive. Got caught with utility out. Kamiyu has joined the fray, the paranoia out as both try to anchor back out onto the side. Alexi's there, still good for it. The spike is gonna go up towards heaven. And I wonder, yeah, they're just gonna flip. The spike's going out, it's going towards B. Roxy managed to slip the net. She's gonna get out of there undetected.
Oh my goodness, such a fast reaction from Kamiyu, TPing onto site and helping her teammate Alexi. But again, Spike is going to be planted towards that B site. They're going to be pushed towards spawn. And SMG is opting to actually split up on this retake. We have one going towards B main, which is going to be a little bit of a stretch because, like you said, the bomb has been flipped to the other side. Omen towards spawn, pushing towards this.
Are they expecting Alexi, who's going to be on the flank, though? Or is Kamiyu going to do it on her own? Yes, she will! What a play from Kamiyu. We're tied!
Oh my goodness, Kamiyu just showing that it doesn't matter if they're split up because she can hold her own. The 2v1, oh my goodness. What a round, that was crazy. I mean, the TP, the play towards site, the paranoia, holding, the patience, the spray, the flick, oh my god. That was, okay, Kamiyu is the MVP of that round, playing towards B, not having any action the whole time, and just pulling that out of the hat, saying that she's tired of not seeing anyone, and she's here to play.
6 rounds in a row for the #1 seed from the APAC region. Just when they thought Haven's inevitable, right? There's no way G2 fumble this. What a response from SMG.
Holy smokes, and 10-10, it is all tied up. A buy coming in from both of these teams still. G2 actually doing really well with their economy, making sure they can always buy for the next round. But yes, another setup where they're giving up that mid. They don't care about mid anymore because they have a crazy, crazy A setup to punish those lurks that almost won the round for G2 last round.
I mean, you're reaching in the playbook here at this point, right? I mean, you lose 6 rounds in a row, you've got to be wondering, what the heck do we do, right?
Yeah.
Like, what works? And if I'm not mistaken, both timeouts have been burned. So I don't know that that's even really an option.
Yeah, looking like a B split now. They're walking up into heaven, trying to contact up Petra and Mimi. Cypher lagging behind a little bit. The nades being thrown, pushing Shirazi off. But Omen's alone on side, but Kamiyu does not care, dude.
No
2
way.
kills.
Looking for the 3rd and finds it. The 4th not going to connect, but the damage has been done. Can they push it back? Glance left in a 1v2. Wondering how they've gotten to this point once more. Now with 13 seconds left, Amali's going to deny the plant for just a moment. Finally finding the breathing room, finding the space, getting the spike down. There it is. Shirazi on the swing, Glance with no real options. And SMG with an outrageous comeback. They've taken the lead.
I was just talking about Camille, and she is here. Camille is literally the MVP of this map for SMG. They need to thank her. They need to shake her hand after this game, because the things that she is pulling out these past 2 rounds to win the game is just insane. The Omen hold, peeking and getting 2, almost getting a third, sorry, and almost getting a fourth.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what a round, what a hold. G2 now, they desperately need an answer coming into this.
But that's the problem. What's the answer, right? What do they try? 7 rounds in a row.
11-10. Oh my goodness. But the good thing is G2, again, I just talked about this, doing so well, making sure that they can buy every single round. Even if it's a light armor, they're still managing to buy, still managing to keep it close. But they need this round. They need to tie it up, opting for some mid control. But again, the Molly, the Orb, the Viper util is so hard to counter in this scenario.
That deep paranoia. Not going to connect onto anything, but again, we've got, what, 35 seconds burned off the clock already with not a ton of space gained. Roxy, who's been so diligent in clearing out the cam, this time gets a little bit further up, ultimately clears the cam out. And they still have some time to feel things out here.
Yep, this lurk from Roxy, they know she's here. They're not afraid of her because she's broken stuff. She's gone in this lurk spot before, and they know it.
Yeah.
But they're giving up the B side dog. They're opting to push down mid.
And they have no idea. I mean, Roxy's so far up, gets a massive kill. The map has just been flipped at this point. The attack side is going to be playing from the defensive side of spawn. They've got a deep trip to make sure there's no rotate coming through there. It's all going to be what's behind them, though, and they're aware to it. Mimi knew, but Kamiu's there on the kill anyway. They've got the pit down.
Damn it. No charges.
And the ult cleared out. They're going to try to hull it out onto the site. We've got to be careful. Alexi's going to be on the late flank, too, but it seems like Roxy's ahead of it. The Dogsman gave the position away. Kamiu playing in, playing up. Pit's still a problem. This kill is massive if they can work this out. Spike ticking away. Time's of the essence. Shirazi getting 2. Alexi left alone. A 1v2. The Pit's still a problem. She's gotten it down to 1. She's got the Seekers to work with 2. Trying to bully Sarah out of the way. Trying to land the bullets through the Seekers and cannot. Alexi weak. Alexi gets the shots. And SMG get the round. But they're not going to get the defuse. There was just not enough time. It was all too delayed.
Oh my gosh, what a crazy round from both of these teams. I mean, SMG's reaction to walk down mid, almost winning them the round, but the round is way too close. G2 is not going to be happy that they won that round so messily. SMG showing it doesn't matter because they are still here. G2, Bulldog and a Guardian and light armor versus full Vandals, full armor. They still have Cypher ult. This is going to be a really hard round for G2 to win.
Tied at 11, and of course we wouldn't have it any other way. G2 pushing forward towards A. And again, SMG are glad to face it. They're glad to take these fights, but they may have been overwhelmed.
I have retrieved the spike.
They have so much space towards A.
Yeah, it looks like G2 took a page out of SMG's playbook of walking up together, having that wolf pack mentality, and it worked out perfectly for them. 2 players on the flank, but they are making so much noise. The trip catching off Raze and knowing that Raze is sitting here. Omen paranoia trying to punish and delay, but not much else going on. The blind coming in from SMG, trying to capitalize. They need to speed up on this retake. Viper just sitting in heaven.
Very forward. They don't have ramps control. The timing on this is huge from Glance. There it is. The first, Roxy on the second, and Neri left in a 1v2. She's still healthy. Time is of the essence. Are they going to just double face? Is it going to be too many targets for him to deal with? Yes, it will be. G2 finally seemed to stem the comeback from SMG and take the lead back.
G2 aware that they did not have the best gun in the game and chose to stay together. What a great adaptation here. They punished that heaven hold. It was such a good hold at the beginning, but then absolutely shutting it down. G2 doing such a great job there. That round looked clean. And now we're going to see how this last round is going to play out. Either G2 is taking it to third map or OT from SMG.
And of course, there's a timeout to build a little bit more suspense if there hadn't been enough over these last, 20 minutes that we've had on Split. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, so far off these timeouts, both teams have seemed to understand or capitalize one way or another. This one is for everything right now. SMG needs to understand what is going wrong in their setup. Are they going to change things up? How are they going to change things up? And G2 needs to understand that, hey, this Wolfpack mentality that we got going on went really, really good for us.
Also worth noting very quickly, G2 have been flying blind for the last couple of rounds because they didn't have timeouts. Finally, a brief moment for Carcass to be able to speak to his team. And again, the final round of regulation. Perhaps we head to Haven. Perhaps we head to overtime. Who knows what's in the cards. Just one ult currently online, but worth noting, SMG have 2 just around the corner. Shirazi 1 away from the pit, and Ari 1 point away from the showstopper. But the buy's not great. It's a Judge, and it's a Spectre.
Yeah, a lot of B pressure coming in from G2 here. They're pushing off that Omen. They're aware that Omen has been playing alone all of these rounds. Now, we have so much information with the Cypher Cam just looking around. They're trying to set up for a trap setup. They're trying to set up for mid, and they just gave up B main like that. They pushed off Omen, but Camille, Doug, she doesn't care. She's still spawning the entry.
Mimi's dog clearing things out. At least knowing that the space that they had previously fought for hadn't been taken back. Petra so close, but nothing doing yet. And Ari now filling in behind the orb, repositioning. Ooh, that was close. But I think she's undetected. Oh no, they're pinging it on the minimap. They know she's there. And Ari's gonna have so much to do and she can't.
While that madness is happening, Camille actually getting a pick onto Mimi in that B main, and now we're down to a 4v4 from both these teams. And again, regrouping in these scenarios is so important, and that's exactly what G2 is doing. Regrouping, walking up, the flash, knowing that that's where they're going to be ending, and the rotates coming in.
Looking for the trip! Oh, that's huge! But of course, it's traded. The flash is great, but the tit for tat continues. 13 seconds left. They are going to get the spike down. Kamiyu and Shirazi with everything to do to force OT. Glance has the ult, but where do you go in a position like this? Maybe Heaven, but you don't know if it's safe. You don't know if that's a safe place to go. The Paranoia tagging the first. Finally, the swarm coming through. Roxy falls. Glance left in a 1v1. Shirazi, Glance, can she pull it off? Pushing the smoke, the tap, daring the swing!
Oh my god, they've done it, Doug! They brought it to OT Shirazi. Oh my goodness!
What a map we've had so far.
Switching sides.
My heart is racing right now. This is a crazy, crazy map. Always coming down to these clutches, coming down to these trades. Everyone going one for one, over and over again. And at the end, Shirazi clutching this out. So important for her team. This OT is gonna be so intense. Oh my goodness, honestly, I would be like that too. I felt that.
What a fight. What a fight we've had in overtime is where things will be settled. SMG on the attacking side. Again, you hear the crowd fully behind the representatives from the APAC region. Swim across mid, nothing found quite yet. No glass cannon op or anything like that as we dance with the first round of OT.
Yep, the mid control coming out from both of these teams, trying to bait out all this util from both sides. The Viper wall actually being placed towards B at the beginning of the round as a lurk wall, but it works out perfectly because SMG is opting to end towards this side. They know that Omen is weak.
Lance trying to jump spot. Ooh, hello. By herself. That paranoia is going to create some space, and an Aerie satcheling forward. You got the wall. You can tuck behind two. And then the smoke. They've got so much on site, but G2 mow everything over. Petra with 3 on the round, and an Aerie who was the first one on the tip of the spear now finds the shaft is gone. It's just her dodging the showstopper, getting a kill, but still so much work to do. 30 HP, finding another target. And this would be very, very ridiculous given what we've had so far.
30 seconds left.
And Aerie faking the plant, repositioning, so much time to work with. Still has a nade and has an ult. With 20 seconds left, they have to understand she's on site. There's no way she's left, and Roxy stops it. G2 hang on to the lead.
Oh my goodness. G2, the super fast flood from B Heaven. They were ready to support Glance on site. What an amazing play. Petra avoiding all that util, avoiding peeking while she's util dumped, and then ending up getting a 3K. Such a well-played round from G2. They were ready for such a play. I mean, that was insane.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
Can they do it again on the attack side? SMG back to their old antics of taking all of this space in garage. And keeping Kamiyu concealed.
I wonder if G2 is going to have a really good plan of attack to take this back, and this will be the first time that we see both these teams contesting this B main garage while SMG is on defense. So need to see how they react, but it doesn't look like they're going to be rushing into anything. First, the mid pressure coming in with the Raze and the Cypher to try to pull that away, but Raze and Omen staying tight in that B main garage.
If they want to end here, they're going to have to clear out garage one way or another. The dog instantly cleared out by an Aerie. They still don't know that Kamiyu is there. The paranoia is going to confirm things. They've gotten out from heaven. They've gotten through garage. They have B. It's all theirs. G2 seemingly putting the finishing touches on a gorgeous map.
Spike planted.
An absolute treat to watch as SMG's left in tatters. Kahibi and Shirazi, the only two that remain.
Oh,
and of course, there's a knife.
Roxy with the knife pulling up behind Shirazi. That is not how you want to go on this last potential round. Kahibi stuck in a 1v4. It's doable, but this is looking hard. G2 playing such a well-rounded overtime so far.
I mean, a well-oiled machine. They do it in style, complete disrespect. And that's what takes us to Haven. 14-12 in favor of G2, and this series is not done yet.
Such a good round. Such a good play. G2 showing why they were #1 last year, because everything that they did towards the end there in that OT showed that they were not scared. They were playing their own game, and they forced SMG to play.
14-12, Haven on the other side of this break. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Say my name, say it out loud. Call me again, tell me what you want. Say my name, say it out loud. Call me again, tell me what you want. Say Say my name, say it out loud. Call me again. Tell me what you want.
All right, what a way to celebrate your birthday. It's Roxy's birthday already in Germany, so the crowd was also singing happy birthday to her. She's absolutely lovely. And we get the first third mapper of Game Changers Champion 2023. I'm Jeannie. We have Elias and Kukanderesk as well. And we're going to try and break this one down because if I had a BPM monitor during that game, it would have been off the charts.
I don't have a voice, in case you haven't noticed. I don't know how Mimi is going to end up with a voice because every single time that we cut to her camera, she's like, nice! She's like insanely out of the charts. But I think it was Roxy that we're seeing on the screen right now. Not only happy birthday to you, Roxy, it's also the fact that she was the one being like, listen, we need to close this one up. We need to take this to the third map, as you were saying, Jeannie, the first time in these 2 days that we're going to that third mapper. And also the first time in the last 98 days that SMG has lost a map. We knew that the record, of course, in matches was astonishing, but also there's another one just in maps that was broken right now. We wanted to see this also. We wanted to see how they were going to come back. But going back to the Roxy point, all of those tripwires that did not have the effect they expected on Bind had quite the opposite here on Split. It was not only on the frags, in so many of those instances. We were talking, right, Lisa, before we started the map. Hey, you get so easily used to playing against the Cypher because you know where the control points are going to be for the agent. But actually, they were going into them time and time again, and the amount of clutches that were going for G2, I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, it's super hard to play against Cypher on defense side because it's really hard to break all the wires, and it's just like the cages allows the Cypher to move around the site, and it's just super hard to kill the Cypher. So Roxy was playing very well on the side, and she was surviving all the time, and she was clutching, she was killing everyone, she was just on fire, honestly.
Yeah, Roxy definitely made this one a difficult one for SMG, broke that record for them.
Hear me out, she also got the first knife kills in all of this year and the previous year, so in Game Changer Championship, that's her birthday present.
That's a birthday
for
present
now.
Herself. to herself for herself.
Exactly.
For now. You never know how next map is going to go, absolutely, it's something to keep in mind. But another one that is a little bit of an Easter egg here was Petra.
I love this one. Yeah. Space, thank you so much. He's our star, guys. And I just had this question. I was like, there's no way that he can get me this. But one of the keys to definitely shutting that aggression down, we were talking about it when we were watching it, is getting the operator. And of course, it's going to go on your duelist. But have you seen Petra with that operator? But thanks to Space, we know that during this year, in the 1,854 rounds that Petra had played before coming to this tournament, he had played operator 1 round. That is like a 0.0005%.
Quick maths. My math's not that
Numbers.
good.
And she did pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did pretty well. She could do everything.
G2 can do anything, right? I mean, they bring this one back. We were looking at how close this of a map was. At one point, we were like, whoa, this is looking like a comeback from SMG. We're heading into OT. G2 are able to close it. It almost was. It's hot take. It almost was. But we're looking at G2 and the fact that they were able to come back on their opponent's map pick. SMG, as you already pointed out, they get their first loss as well. So a lot of different variables moving, and it feels like G2 at that end found their footing.
Yeah, G2, honestly to me it was Roxy, because Cypher, you usually play more like supportive in positions that you're safe, and Roxy was basically doing the entry and killing 3 people at a time. I don't know.
I thought that's what Cyphers were supposed to do.
She was pressing W and just killing everyone, so I think she was the main character in that game.
Yeah.
And she was doing it all, you know what I mean? Because SMG was coming so aggressive and just winning all the trades and doing it all and just pushing, and G2 couldn't handle it, but Roxy.
There were some crazy rounds, I think, from both sides. Also, to me, the last round, round number 26, it was just beautiful. We were talking about G2 maybe being a little bit too slow and finding their footing, finding exactly what pace they wanted to follow, or you know what key to press against SMG to make them feel uncomfortable. And this last round was perfect. They just waited time and time again, being like, okay, so we're gonna be distracting them, using a little bit of utility in garage. We just keep them stalled here. In the meantime, you're gonna go through heaven, and it really looked like it was so well prepared, but it wasn't until that last round that we saw that.
Yeah, I mean, just further highlighting how close this matchup is, going to that OT, having to go to a third mapper. We're comparing Roxy and Kohibi both coming out on top of that Cypher. It also further emphasizes how Vessels in the game.
Prove me wrong.
All right. I mean,
prove me wrong.
It further emphasizes. No, I can't. I literally can't. Like, looking at the numbers, they're both coming out on top, further proving how this composition has worked exceptionally well for G2. You touched upon it, Roxy being the main girl, the main character.
Yeah.
Main character when we're looking at this match. But she was also the main character when we're looking at the crowd, because check this out. Happy birthday. Does anyone want to sing? Anyone here want to, like...
I can barely speak, Ginny. Like, are you sure you want me to sing?
Go for it.
People might think that it's because I went to Taylor Swift, but I didn't. It was literally from just watching the games and going completely unreal. I'm so happy that Roxy gets to live this moment here, because she was also part of Game Changers Championship last year under Guild. But I feel like feeling the warmth from the crowd when you're not in your home city, it has to be a lot, because obviously she's German. So last year it was in Germany. So, you know.
I'm gonna say one thing though, this crowd is not loyal. Like,
yes,
it's G2,
so funny
then it's
watching
SMG, then it's G2 again, then it's... Make up your minds, okay?
No, honestly, I actually empathize with them, because I just want to see good Valorant. I don't care who wins.
Like,
I'm gonna be happy for whomever wins. I just want to see good Valorant. And you know where we're gonna see it? On Haven.
I mean, we've already seen it on Binance Split. We're just gonna add a little bit into the mix on Haven.
But I don't think you understand what's at stake here. You know the difference between Bind, Split, and Haven, even though that they're part of the Holy Trinity of Valorant, is the fact that, well, Lisa, answer this to me. What duelist do you play on Haven?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know, Petra has played almost 4,500 rounds of Valorant in her, Valorant career.
Oh, there's a lot of numbers.
And she has never, ever played that Jett. So we could be witnessing the Jett debut of a professional player coming into LAN, and that professional player being Petra.
So you're telling me...
I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be. Maybe they decide to go back to bases, because this is not a map that they have completely 100% loved in the past. But I'm just putting that there.
You're telling me this map is going to be Jett diff. That's it.
I'm telling you, if this map is Jett diff and Petra's the Jett diffin, they have already won the tournament.
We're going to have to wait and see whether or not the Jett's going to be coming through. But I think another thing, as much as that's on stake for G2, something to look at on the side of SMG is the fact that they have just lost their first map. They have that 35-0 winning streak. I mean, on the interview as well earlier today, Inari saying, yes, it's a 35-0 streak, but I'm not that proud of it. Like, we can push it further. So for them, it's, being humble, but for them, it's also the fact that can they come back from the first loss that they have experienced?
I think they came to this tournament hoping that they would lose. Like, it wasn't their plans, you know what I mean? I think even though they didn't lose, they have prepared. At least it was the least they could do, you know what I mean? They were playing against the best teams in the world, and this was the time. If we wanted to lose, then let it be now, you know what I mean? And so I think they can grow. This time they can grow, you know?
Yeah, and also this is a map that they played yesterday against TG, and it worked beautifully. Of course, after that first map, I mean, there's close to nothing they can't do, right? But if on the side of G2, if they want to close this up, the last time that they played that Haven, it was when they were disqualified. Well, not disqualified, they were lost in that Game Changers 3, and probably that meant a lot for them because, you know, they're G2 Ghosts and they were supposed to be the queens of EMEA, but it's actually BBL queens that ended up taking that last title. And I think it was devastating and probably a turning point into, okay, we need to change things up. And now that we are qualified and we're good, it's time to, you know, take those changes into reality.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to touch upon the point of G2 losing because during Series 1, Mary as well when asked the question like, you guys just lost, she also said, our biggest lessons always come from our losses. So assuming the same thing and the same approach for SMG, I think Split is going to be nothing short of a treat.
I did learn a lot when we lost Mary. Mary, wherever you are, we love you and we miss you. No, but definitely, I think that is another one of the things that makes G2 such a great team is that, of course, you know, when you win, it's fine. Definitely, the feeling is awesome, yada yada. But you don't learn that much about yourself. That is also something that we want to see on the side of SMG.
Exactly.
It's not a comfortable win. Of course, if you are to lose this map, you're not out of the tournament yet. But hey, imagine coming into this tournament, breaking all of the expectations, not only with what happened yesterday, but coming on the second day and beating the reigning champions of Game Changers.
But I have something to say. They were losing this map hard, okay? Yeah. And they almost did a comeback. It was hard because the things was just not going in their way, and they somehow managed to do OT still. So I think their mindset is really good. Coming back from this type of game that is really difficult, mainly in Split, because you expect your CT to be super good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they just came prepared, you know what I mean? I feel like they came prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nothing short of preparedness that we've seen it from both teams. I mean, we said adaptability was going to be key, confidence is going to be key with the Prime Agent ready. We can also look into the compositions and what we can be expecting and whether or not we're going to be seeing the debut for the Jet. I know that that's what we're looking forward to as well. So we're going to have to wait until that does pop up on our screens. But I think looking at this both of these rosters, they have already proven so much in such a short period of time. Yeah. However this final map goes, they can both really say that not only did they give it their all, I mean, there's not the end of it, there's still a lower bracket, they have been doing so incredible. And now,
oh my God,
with
Petra,
the Prime Gaming,
oh
there we go.
my God, you're making history again. Not only that, they're also moving away from that double controller that they were testing, just going for the full-on standard comp, very European. I am extremely excited for this one.
I think they're coming aggressive. I don't know. They were super hyped in the last map. Everyone is screaming and shouting and just doing the clutches, and everyone was on hype, honestly. And I think they came. This comp is more aggressive than the other one that was double controller. So I think that is what they came for, to be aggressive, to kill everyone.
All right, to be aggressive, to be confident, and to win it all. The first series that's going to go to that final map, the decider, which we'll see whether SMG lose their 35-0 winning streak, whether G2 goes and can continue to hold on to their title of returning champions. Let's head over to our casters, Doug and Athena, to cover the game.
Thank you so much. It's a treat. This series has been, and now it's a treat to have things end on Haven with so much at stake. I think the Desk put it together quite nicely. You've got streaks that are up for grabs. You've got an upper bracket run that's up for grabs on the biggest stage of Game Changers throughout the year. This has just been so freaking good, and for it to end in a position where you've got Petra making her professional debut on Jet, where you've got mirror comps, this is just so good with the exception of the controllers. Athena, this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we saw SMG on this map yesterday. They looked really solid, but G2, this is going to be super interesting. Right off the bat, a B hit, Petra getting up Or sorry, I mean Inari getting up onto that site, and right there they have the B site. They don't know if there is back site. Gets one. Inari getting the trade.
Seems like G2 might try to reflank through garage. They've managed to get the spike down. SMG have. Where on earth is Shiraz going? Well, I was gonna say, surely you're not expecting that. Hang on. Hang on.
One enemy remaining.
The potential for the third connects. Yeah, I think
so. I think she's good.
Yeah, I think Petra's gonna be just fine.
On Jazz fine.
Yeah, I think Petra's gonna be just fine.
I wasn't worried. Were you worried?
No.
No, I wasn't worried. Yeah, what a great round. I mean, Shirazi unfortunately getting caught off guard with that A flank. I mean, that would have been so good. You could see that they were trying to end, but the coach reaction here to Petra's amazing 3K. So clean with that Sheriff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she looked at her teammate and said, "I'm not back, I never left, bro." Which is just so freaking cold, man. A 3-0 start, I mean, really a dream. Again, for a professional debut on an agent such as Jet, you couldn't possibly ask for much more. 2 marshals carried into this round. SMG, you imagine they're going to try to go for something fast. You're going to go fast right into the turret, right into the mollies, and right into the marshal of Sarah.
My goodness, sprinting past that molly took so much health off, chunked them down, but SMG losing half of their team already. Petra with this marshal also pushing through, just getting hers, and what a thrifty. That was not really the best eco that they could have ran.
This is just such a clean round. Maybe Alexi will get a parting gift, something to take with her into the next round. So you can't imagine she's going to pull this one all the way off. I mean, a 1v4, ain't no way. We're just one step closer to having the Blades online.
Yeah, Petra, so good, so confident. I mean, again, it was an eco. They had pistols. SMG opting to run it down. I think that's fine. SMG, again, showing that they've been pretty fast-paced so far. I'm wondering if they're going to keep this up with the guns that they have in hand, knowing that the other team is still on a bonus. They know they have 2 marshals. They know that they're going to have to take those long fights, take those peaks, but maybe they're going to run it down. And as I said that, we do see all 5 players of SMG here outside of A main.
Mimi's set up to set Petra up quite nicely with the fault line to give her that line with the marshal. But it looks like it's just a little late. SMG have been delayed for just a moment. And Ari tried getting high ground, but Mimi was there to greet the flash out. It's just a second early. Kept back by the smoke. SMG moves their way forward. They mow over G2. They have everything they could want right now.
Yeah, Roxy trying to get an extra gun down, but Alexi absolutely shutting any hopes of that. Sarah being spotted in heaven. The breach boom, the cap smoke, everyone is now safe. Shirazi actually chasing a little bit towards that spawn, but she's not going to overpeak and get another gun because they did already lose one.
Well, Sarah might try to take care of that on her own, but not able to find any more targets. SMG on the board. They've managed to carry 4 weapons into the next round, and Ari the only one who died. It's a great response.
Yeah, so again, that fast-paced rounds is all we've seen from SMG. If they're going to keep this up, it could be a good way to start the game. I mean, starting off fast, making the other team get worried and use util right away in order to delay, then starting to slow it down to your own pace later on. That is such a smart way to play Haven, and such a good way to play Haven, especially against this breach comp.
Petra with the op, round 4. Tried to get past and does. Oh, just narrowly missing the target. Has to give the space back up. Glance was there to help for just a moment. Certainly worse for Ware, down to 61 HP and no armor. I don't know that Petra's going to be able to find much more here. Stuck in a fault line, trying to find space in the cloudburst. But Glance and Mimi are there to save the day. They get them all.
Spike down.
Alexi's left alone. She's still all the way down long.
3 players backside for G2, ready to support Petra with that op. And it's looking like really rough for SMG. She gets flanked, but Alexi actually turning around and punishing Roxy for not getting her in the head right away. But 11 HP in a dream, not much that she can do here.
Let's see if Alexi can try to take another weapon down with her. Also 1 point from having the Hunter's Fury on mine, so either way, you get the kill, you die, you're gonna get the ult in the next round. All good. But G2 get their 3rd round, they keep the op out of Petra, or they keep the op on Petra, excuse me. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, setting up the line, like Jet getting the line on A is so important. But what was even better was how fast G2 reacted to get onto site.
Yeah.
We saw the stuns coming out. We saw the flashes to get back out. We saw Mimi already back site with her breach util, just supporting with her gun out as well. Like, such a good round, a good reaction for this fast-paced style that SMG is trying to give G2.
Question is, how much longer will SMG try to fight for this aim and control? She just spotted the barrel of the gun, and it's an op. Or excuse me, it was a Marshall. Whew. I was tricked for just a moment, but Petra lands a shot.
Down to 24 HP though on Petra. She is going to be moving that op around, and this is exactly how she was playing it on Split. And it's such a good way to play, especially on Haven, where you do have 3 sites. You have the full control of B. They're playing heavy towards that B garage, and see Sova alone on A, forced to play retake, gets tagged, starts falling off. Again, really, really well played. They're not too scared. I mean, G2, the op is back here. They have so much freedom to rotate because of all this information that they're getting.
Petra's following the drone, getting really far up, and there is a player short. Going for the shorty. Kahibi on the other side, stunned. Not another knife.
Last player standing.
Kahibi's there to take care of it, but now, yeah, you took care of Petra. You still have 4 other players of G2 that you're going to have to deal with 32 HP.
30 seconds left.
I don't think anyone's going to swing you. I think the onus is on you here, Kahibi.
The discipline on G2.
Yeah.
That's really showing right now.
Is anyone going to die?
10
there we go.
seconds.
Kahibi now pushing forward, getting Mimi. Sarah was there on the trade.
Yeah,
They're gonna pick up the op that was dropped, take it into the next 3-round lead for G2. This is an excellent start for the defensive side.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know, the big thing that G2 also picked up on, which I don't know if you noticed, Doug, is that they know where the util is going to go when these 8 hits now, because SMG has done it so many rounds in a row. So we have the players on site able to dodge the util. They know where the dart is going to land. They dodge the fault line from breach on default, and they're just playing to stay alive. They know where the util is going to land because SMG's done it so many times in a row, and it looks like they're going to do it again.
Same fault line, same dart, and it seems like they were kind of expecting a change. You've got the op towards C, you've got Sarah who's taken all that space now in Cubby. But SMG wanting to lean towards A. Ooh, almost turning that flash. That was really close, but it was too much to deal with. Glance is the last member of G2 who's towards A, and that's dead. The Hunter's Fury is going to be used to clear out the site and secure that no one else is there. G2 are left in a pretty difficult retake situation here.
Shirazi trying to get a lurk in, but Roxy is fully aware that the timing is there. She gets that pick onto Shirazi. It's still down in numbers, 3v4, and Petra has an op. This retake is going to be a little bit difficult because look at all the util left on both sides.
Sarah has to find a little bit of room. Well, never mind. It's too late now.
Never mind.
Too late now.
Yeah, their only hope was Sarah kind of getting a good lurk in, but again, that was not possible. Man, that was such a good play from SMG towards long. They absolutely punished. I mean, Mimi playing so far up, a little bit questionable. She doesn't have util ready to counter that, but Breach flashed her off. Not much that she could have done there other than util dumped. Playing a little bit heavy towards long with the Sova coming back. Just really, really unlucky timing from G2, but this punish was just amazing. You can see Mimi was in the middle of having a plan. Glance just absolutely getting obliterated. And this was a util diff from SMG, not using the same util that they've been using the past few rounds in order to execute, but instead punishing the places that we knew G2 was playing.
3 ultimates on the side of the attacking half. You've got the Rolling Thunder, you've got Blades, and then Shirazi's Cosmic Divide. This also feels like the first time we have a really deep smoke out from G2 towards C long. How do they respond to that? They haven't really tested this Killjoy defensive setup yet.
Yeah, Roxy
Wow.
actually good for one, all the way through grass, peeking through window. Yeah, just like you said, they know that that Killjoy's been set up from that pistol round, actually hearing that turret and using the breach blast to destroy it. So much util. If they're gonna break it and fall off and put pressure, make sure that they rotate, that would be really smart. But looking like 2 players towards Long C are gonna put up so much pressure.
Hunter's Fury was used by Glance. Sarah's still playing on the smoke. Or just on the other side of it, excuse me. The turret is no longer around as Sarah plays backside, has to reposition and manages to do so safely for now. How is she still alive? How is she not taking any damage? Spikes in harmlessly on the ground, and Sarah's there to swing at just the right time. Roxy joins, and that's a 3-round lead for G2.
What a wonderful hold. Looking kind of shaky there at the beginning with so much util being wasted when SMG haven't even gone into the site yet. But it doesn't matter because playing on site seems to be G2 specialty. They're so fast at flooding. This first kill from Roxy, absolutely stunning, punishing Inari. And then there we go. The site players holding it down. Just like on A, they're flooding out onto site. And as you can hear, such hype coming in from G2. I mean, this scoreline is starting to pull away a little bit from SMG.
On the defensive side, no less. I mean, the benefit of playing attack is you're able to manipulate rotations a little bit more given the 3-site nature of the map, but G2 have had a beautiful read on the situation. Almost gets a second, but Roxy flashed. Couldn't do much more with it. Sarah, who just had a field day with this site in the previous round, will also fall. This seems like this round will go in favor of SMG.
Yeah, really great entries. That's exactly what they needed from Inari.
Hang on. Hang on. That's the op on the flank. She's got blades too, and they have a Rolling Thunder. If they want to invest a lot, this could be huge, but I imagine that's the calling card to give it up, to save what you can going into the next. But they might want to push forward anyway. Are they going to go for this?
Oh. One enemy remaining.
Inari will get 1. Inari will get 2. 4 on the round. And SMG clean things up.
Padding her stats, and Neri just going absolutely crazy, kind of playing at the pace that she wants to play at. We saw them punishing Killjoy before, but now this flash, so good. Roxy caught out of position, trying to punish Neri towards mid again, but she said, not again. And now we have this really, really cool C-split from SMG coming out.
Still have a couple of really important tools too on the attack side. The Rolling Thunder and Ares Blades, but it seems like they want to go mid. If Kohabi's not careful, there was a shot there. But again, the timing window just so awkward. It's not going to pan out. They've done a really good job though of clearing Roxy's utility.
Yeah.
You talked about it a couple of rounds ago. The turret's been in the same place this time. After they clear it out, they want to go this way. Mimi playing backside as Roxy falls.
Whoa, what an amazing strat. They put so much pressure towards B and constant rotation, and Roxy getting caught off guard, but the TP behind. Shirazi shutting that down from Sarah.
I thought she was going to commit. Kahabi's fallen, and they're going to drop the Rolling Thunder to scale them back. But remember, Mimi has one of her own. She can stay alive. Never mind, falls. 3v2 as Petra and Sarah have to take the site back from spawn. Trading weapons as Petra drops the op, has the Vandal, takes care of Kamiyu. How much more can they find? Alexi has 2 shocks to work with. And the grab wall, the dart, the first. Sarah's gotten it to half. And I don't really know that they're doing a ton to stop them. Alexi's not using it. It's gotten down to 1v1 and she's stuck to the fuse. It was just kept.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. Shirazi Star too close to the spike that it would not pull far enough away, and Sarah actually sticking the half defuse. That was crazy. I mean, Sarah, wow. Sticking that defuse was really risky, but it worked out great for them. I mean, that was such a beautiful early round from SMG, putting pressure towards B, breaking KJ util, getting on B, and then falling off and C-splitting, abusing those rotates. Exactly what you were talking about earlier.
We're finally going to see both ops in play, and they are going to clash. There it is. Petra lands a shot. Almost deja vu, what we saw a couple of rounds ago. This just feels like a lot of rinse and repeat, right? You test the waters, EMEA in a little bit, you go back, you clear you attempt to clear the Killjoy utility. Roxy's close by here, playing in window. As Alexi gets some info of what's happening towards B.
Yep, they knew that they have the op set up towards that A line. They already got picked off by one. They started so strong towards A at the beginning of this map, and now they're coming back towards A again. So the way that they're playing is they're putting pressure towards mid. They've realized that the pressure is the only way to pull these rotates. That G2 is so strong at flooding, but Petra is still here.
What a flick! Oh, got a little bit too far up though, and Alexi was there on the punish. The Rolling Thunder is going to keep them back. 35 seconds left. They've decided to draw a line in the sand. Alexi falls. Can they clear them out of short? Mimi with 26 HP and just a few bullets, not able to survive. And of course, it's both Killjoys. Roxy ahead of the play though. She's already on site, but she has no idea where Kahibi's coming from. The shot will land though. G2 get to 7.
My gosh, yes, what a round. This is getting so scrappy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and
it is.
We're going to start seeing a repeat of Split where it's 1-for-1s all around. You know, Petra getting this first initial pick and Neri trying to challenge that without any util. So unfortunate. The flash coming in a second too late. Breach getting caught off guard, and all these trades towards short. Roxy showing why she was MVP of last game for her team and showing that 1v1 is all hers. Such a great round from both teams. I mean, this is hard. Like, this is looking rough for SMG. Like,
yeah, it is.
If I was in SMG's position, it's like, where do you start? Because there's an op that they don't know where it's going to be every single time. You need to find this op. You need to get info on this. Obviously, they don't have a Sky. They have a Sova. So using that dart towards long, using that drone towards short, kind of getting that A lobby information, and you fully understand that if the Jet is there, can probably speed up.
Right.
Or you understand that they're playing really heavy towards there, because every time Petra's been there at the beginning of the round, they've had Breach and Sova close by.
They've had help, yeah. She's had a ton of help. And really, that's what allowed her to re-clear. You think about the previous round, she was there at the beginning, gave some of the space up, but then ultimately took it right back.
Yeah, Petra is just kind of walking all over with this op, able to do whatever she can. And you can tell with the 12-6 scoreline that she has, just running around doing whatever. And they have the KJ ult for retake, but again, we also have the Sova ult on Alexi. They're going on kind of a weird buy from SMG.
Yeah, keeping just enough into the next, while still investing a little bit here.
Standing ahead.
And it's going to be a continued fight towards A-Main. This is pacey, though, for Maneri. And it almost has to be. She's got a stinger.
They tried punishing that op, but didn't even get close enough to do anything. Again, like you said, so much util to help support Petra.
Oh, Sarah's going exploring. It was a late take into Cubby with Roxy over her shoulder. There will be confirmation that this is where the hit is in just a moment. They've left her. Oh no. Finally settling, getting both. Looking for the third. With full awareness that she's there. And the fight goes in favor of Alexi. Mimi's there on the trade, so try to handle things backside, and Alexi manages to upgrade a weapon, has a Guardian online, and is left in a 1v2 with Spike and plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Alexi do this before. We've seen her go crazy in these positions. But again, so scrappy every single one of these rounds. Like, look at the X's on this map. One and one and one and one. There's a pair everywhere because each player has been traded. But the spike does go down, and now it's up to Alexi to clutch in this 1v2.
The last time we saw a situation like this, Petra dropped the op, went for a rifle to take the fight, but that's not really a luxury here. Given that time is short, given that all the weapons are on the opposite side of the map, it's actually been handed over to Glance. So they are going to trade it out. That's not going to land. Glance lands a shot, and that's another round in favor of G2. A formidable attempt from Alexi, nonetheless, to get out of all of that chaos and get the spike down, get a little bit of money, but just not able to convert it into a round win.
Yep, 8-3, Doug. This is looking rough. Sarah, so good with the multi-kills, pushing all the way down, getting hers. But again, G2 just so fast at flooding, at fighting together, at supporting each other on this defense side. And SMG has not had an answer.
No, it's been brutally tough sledding. I believe SMG still has 1 timeout left, but it doesn't seem like they're going to want to call it to close out this first half. No op in the hands of Aneri, just rifles. They do have the Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide, but it's the same setup, right? You've got the fault line into A main to give them Petra a good angle, a recalled Sword this time, and Kaibi has slipped the net.
Yep, the Astral Walker on the B looking like an A-Link actually running up, but the ult coming out from Glance to kind of avoid this and delay this. They have the full B site. They're just sitting in A-Link, not much to do, but they need to crunch it at some point.
This is really tricky. Hits like this very rarely work, but SMG seems to be laughing in the face of that. Kamiyu gets 2, Kaibi gets another. A is open. They have found the room they were looking for. Roxy has the lockdown that she's had for a little while now. So there may be some room for a play. Really no reason not to commit it. And there it is, lockdown online. The Paranoia, they're going to flood out behind it. Yeah, they did, and it was a little bit too pacey. Not able to find full value out of the lockdown anyway. Roxy getting the first. She had a ridiculous clutch earlier in the series. This time it's just 2 kills, but it's around for SMG.
Damn, they almost let her do it again. That was close. But yeah, SMG getting that last round and hopefully making that raise up their hopes for this defense side. But they need to have a really good plan in play here to bring this back, because again, A4 is so different. It's such a hard score line. But Kamiyu, oh my goodness, this 3K was just so great. Both teams in good spirits as it looks. Amazing, amazing, but what a half coming in from G2.
1 half to decide how this all ends out. We're going to throw it down to the desk to break it down.
Thank you guys so much. It looks like the crowd this time around is favoring SMG. Unfortunately, the scoreline not yet. Maybe later on, 8-4 in favor of G2 goes in. And we talked about Petra's Jet debut. Sarah's Omen debut.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything. I think that, you know, Sarah taking that role is also just as important as Petra going as the duelist, but also, you know, taking the operator. And the duels that we were seeing every single time that Petra was on one side and Aneri was on the other one, like my eyes were so open. Like, for example, this one. Boom. Listen, there are things that only Petra can do. I have to say that maybe SMG did not expect this level of proactivity, this level of comfort, let's say, because this is definitely prepared. But also, even though this is an 8-4, okay? And even though G2 wasn't defense, they chose to be on this side. They chose to start on the defense. And look at them, they're just feeling themselves.
Yeah, as we see, Petra and Sarah on screen.
Yeah, both of their debuts have been pretty strong, and I think something that we touched upon earlier, Liza, was the fact that when you have these players that are so used to playing a certain role and then they're coming into the tournament with a different role swap, are you impressed?
I'm really impressed, honestly. Like, I really like the way that both the teams played, but I think SMG is playing on a more like it's not a very comfortable way of playing that is basically relying on the first kill. So they were looking for those picks, but it was not really much planned. Like Roxy dying on double doors and Sarah after that just, you know, peeking, and to me that is not a comfortable way to.
All right, we're gonna head into the final one, so let's head over to our casters.
Very reminiscent to the previous map. G2 are up 8-4 at half, and this is where things got real messy the last time we saw this. We'll see if they're able to close it out this time around on the attacking side. I'm Doug, with me is Athena on the call. This has been a treat to watch, but it really feels like SMG has lost a little steam here.
Yeah, I mean, these back and forth fights have been so interesting to watch, but SMG not looking like they're playing to their full potential, how they want to play the speedy C split, coming in with Petra on B. Kaibi getting caught out, Glance getting one onto Shirazi, and just like that, Doug, it's down to a 5v3.
I mean, this Petra Jet is the truth. Like, I am a full believer. This is outrageous. Her performance has been so clean.
Standing ahead.
And she just got another one. I mean, she's the entry. She's able to create so much space, and then she stays behind as a lurk, catches the rotators that are coming through late. And Aries left in a 1v4, and it's good Ghost, and there's no armor on the other side, but there are too many targets to deal with. I mean, surely it's not something that you can pull off. And Eri got 3 and almost made me eat my words.
I was ready to be like, what did you say?
Yep.
What did you say? Wow, what a
almost a classic caster jinx.
Yeah, almost. G2 pulling out the most fun strat of all time, getting Petra into that B and then making her catch the rotations off. That was almost amazing, almost perfect. Obviously, Neri coming in, getting kills of her own, showing them that she's still going to put up a fight. But again, really well played. And just like you said, man, Petra on Jet is kind of looking unstoppable.
No, it's nice. It's looking nice. It's very nice. They're going to invest so many resources to try to fight for this A main control. And one of the biggest investments they made was in Eri's life. They even invested a Marshall in the hands of Shirazi.
Yep, the silent stack here from SMG looking good. They're all sitting towards that short position. Astra is spotting, and Breach and Sova starting to walk up. They are gonna get caught. Sarah, Petra, everyone's so smart, so quiet. They know that something is happening around the map, and just speeding up off of those kills. Grouping up and going is the best way to play against these pistols.
Yeah, and surely Shirazi hears what's happening at this point. But she's patient with it. She's quiet with it.
Last player standing.
That was unfortunate. I thought she was going to get a kill there for sure. Roxy swing is at just the right time. I think one of the things we don't talk about super often too is in these eco rounds like this is who's getting the primary amount of kills when it comes to getting closer and closer to having your ult online, especially when we're late in a series like this. So a quick check-in glance now, just 3 points away from the Hunter's Fury on attack can be so devastating to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's so good farming orbs, especially on Haven, because on attack, like, it is a little bit easier to farm the C orb, for example, but you always have that spam to be worried about. And the A orb is so far deep in that long A side that the defense is so much easier for them to get it. So farming these ecos, just like what you said, is super important. Glance with 3 away from her ult, looking really good. And now we're up 10-4 for G2. Petra topping that scoreboard, 15-8. I mean, and Neri's not far behind. She's got 13 kills as well. But Petra, again, she's putting so much effort into this Jet debut that it's looking really clean.
A quick timeout from SMG, potentially marking the end. Here, it has to be something on the other side of this timeout to build the comeback. This is where it has to start. And really everything kind of going against them. You feel, you know, they said they didn't care a ton, but a 35-0 record, yes, they feel like they can push it more, but that's something you're proud of. That's something you want to preserve on a stage like this against a team of G2's caliber. Yeah, for sure. I mean, putting down this level of competition early on in the tournament would only cement yourself in that, hey, I'm here to play. Yeah, and sure. One thing to notice, Doug, is that when you pause so early in a match like this, it is hard to read what G2 is actually doing. So stuff like this shows that SMG is sweating a little bit. They have to talk some things out, not necessarily about the other team, but about how they're playing and what small fixes and mistakes that they need to get rid of. What's the setup look like here? It seems like they're going to want to try to push mid here a little bit, maybe get an area into more of an aggressive angle off of a fault line from Kamiyu. But G2 are just not, they're not concerned with that area of the map at all. Yeah, the 5-man towards A is looking really good, looking like the right read from G2. However, having that mid control early could be super beneficial for a first flank. Again, this is the first gun round for SMG. They have these Vandals. They need to be able to play it smart. The retake A better come in handy with 3 people on this flank. They need to have a really good retake plan because they're giving them so much time for G2 to set up in their post plants. They have perfect crossfires ready. Alarmbot spotting the flank. Roxy's going to have a lot to do if she's patient with it. She's heard one pass, the second pass, the third is there. She's dinked, she's dead. How much more patient will she be? Sarah wasn't able to get anything on long. Enemy kill. And SMG continue to push forward. They've taken care of Mimi, but they're still going to have to deal with what's behind them. You can't land the shot onto the dart. Petra with 4, 11 for G2, full steam ahead.
Like I was saying, man, they got this site for free. SMG needed a way better plan on retaking that. They knew that there was potential of KJ Turret or KJ Alarmbot being there holding the flank, but off of that, they did not do much. Camille getting caught off guard, you need to be aware that if they know that someone's flanking, if they need to push, they will push, they will take that space back. And now, I mean, as you can tell from their reactions, such a good momentum for G2. And the C rush is actually coming in from G2. They're taking the C line, the best read. Again, no one is on site.
Yeah, they keep guessing the wrong way. And I mean, I get it, especially in a round like this, you have to gamble, right? And hope that you hit the money, but just not the case this time around. And Ari trying to cause problems with the blades. But Roxy has to be cleared, it has to be dealt with, and it's not going to be an Ari to do it. Once again, we talked about this at half a little bit. It really feels like SMG has lost steam. They've run out of gas. They don't really have anything left in the tank. While G2 just continue to gear up, they continue to hit an additional pace and additional gear as the series went on.
Yeah, winning that split game was definitely a momentum turner
for sure
for G2, because now they just look like they're on fire. They know who they are. They're remembering that, hey, we were the champions last year. We need to put this game to an end and show that we need to solidify why we're here. And honestly, I think they've done such a great job of proving that. SMG, again, yes, they're losing gas. They're running out of gas. But again, they also don't have the answers. It's a mixture of everything, where G2 is just looking so clean in so many different aspects.
This feels borderline unwinnable, and I'm not even talking about the score, right? I think you're right. G2's just playing the game so well right now. SMG has found no success.
Last point of this match, potentially, and Inari is starting to go for those confident peaks. Once again, she walked up towards that short, but allowed 2 players towards long to take all this space.
Look at how they're just waiting. They're waiting for SMG to peek here. Playing anti-flash, well, unlucky, but Petra cleans up both. You clear 2 and you think, all right, we've got some room to work with, but Petra was there.
Yep, what a re-clear. Both teams contacting up, one team re-clearing, but it's okay because G2 set up that crossfire way before. They reacted so well to that short push, and now the retake coming in. Roxy actually getting caught off guard. She knows that she's flanking. Camille, turn around!
I don't know how she ended up getting a kill. She should have known. Either way, Petra with 4, the ace on the cards, and what a debut this would be. You know that they're trying to serve it up for. Oh, she's trying to steal the kill. That's cold, but the ace delivers again. What a debut in the face of a streak with the weight of back of a defending champion on their shoulders. G2 take down SMG.
I mean, an ace to end the game. What a debut of Jet. That was crazy. Petra putting her foot down, showing why her duelist is going to be one of the best of this tournament, and something that we have not seen in a while, but something that we are so happy to see Petra pull out.
Not a bad start at all. 25-8, 382 ACS. Yeah, not too shabby, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, SMG, of course, putting up a fight. Man, these two teams, if this is showing what is to come for the rest of this tournament, I am so excited because every round, Doug, it seemed like back and forth, and kind of like what Ginny was saying on the desk, if I had a heart rate monitor for this match, it would have been going up and down and up and down.
Poor Petra just trying to tie her shoes. I think she's earned as much, given the performance that she had, but no, it doesn't seem like they're waiting. I think that there's a lot to talk about on the side of SMG as well, because they still look really freaking good. Ultimately, they kind of fell off at the end. They didn't have enough to fight back against this powerhouse that is G2 that continues to be a powerhouse, right?
Of course.
On the other side of roster changes and things of that nature, they're still really freaking good. But SMG showed a lot to be excited about and a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, if this is how they're performing against the champions of last year, SMG has nothing to worry about, because now they need to know how to learn from their losses. And like they said earlier, they needed to lose to learn their mistakes, and hopefully going forward they know how to adapt and how to push through, because this mistake is something that could help them win throughout that lower bracket.
Yeah, I think this can either go one of two ways for this squad that's been so much fun to watch, right? Either you're going to look at this loss and you're going to learn from it and you're going to grow from it and you go, okay, we know what this is like now, right? It's been a while, but there are a lot of improvements that we can make off this. It could also very quickly balloon into a second, right? In a double elimination tournament like this, you really can't afford anything like that. So it'll be I'm very curious to see how SMG perform on the other side of this. Again, they've proven it domestically, they've proven it internationally. They're really freaking good.
Yeah,
it just takes a loss like this to kind of learn what you're made of.
100%. Both these teams look so ready mechanically, strategically, so ready to perform. And this is some of the best Valorant that we've seen. Like all day, all these teams have been performing over and over, but still, such a good showcase of skill and strategy. And honestly, everything that we've seen today and the way that all these girls are still smiling after these games just shows that this is such a fun stage, such a fun competition to be a part of.
Yeah, I think there's still plenty of deep tournament run aspirations for both. I think this G2 project of switching roles around is obviously working.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we've seen probably some of the best performance that we've seen out of G2 today, just a few moments ago, and there's still plenty of room to grow.
Oh my god, for sure. Every single one of these players is performing in these roles. And even yesterday, I mean, we saw SMG playing the 4 duelist role. Now, all these players were duelists before, and now look at how they're performing in each of these roles. So both teams just playing amazing in roles.
G2 win 2-1 against Team SMG. We're going to throw it down to the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
E aí, galera, vamos agora conversar com a Petra, que acabou de amassar contra a SMG. Ela que é da G2, a gente vai conversar com ela em inglês e eu vou interpretar aqui pra vocês em português, fechado? Primeiro eu vou perguntar pra ela como ela tá se sentindo, se ela tava esperando essa torcida bonita fazendo barulho por elas. So, Petra, first of all, congratulations. It was an amazing game. So, did you expect this crowd cheering and rooting for you guys?
I mean, the crowd was amazing. Like, there was so much sportsmanship. Like, they were cheering for both of the teams, and it felt really good. The energy was great, guys.
Eu perguntei pra ela, né, então sobre isso, e ela falou que foi incrível, que a energia daqui foi incrível e principalmente tinha uma galera torcendo pela G2 e pela SMG do jeitinho que a gente gosta, né? E agora eu vou perguntar, afinal de contas, a SMG estava sendo considerada ali um dos principais nomes para levar o campeonato e o que ela acha disso? Well, some people considered SMG as the front runner, you know, and I really want to know, you just won, and what do you think about that?
Well, I think SMG is a very good team, and I expected them to go really far in the tournament, and I'm pretty sure we will meet them again. They're really good, and they're great individuals. I love them.
Ela disse que ela simplesmente adora todas as jogadoras, que elas são competidoras super fortes e que ela imagina que elas vão se enfrentar novamente mais tarde na competição, porque ela crê que elas vão chegar ali bem até o finalzinho. So, you banned one of your best maps, and at the same time you chose Bind. Why was that?
Bind is also one of our best maps, but I guess not today. Unlucky. Now Haven is one of our best maps.
Bom, eu perguntei pra ela, né? E aí, o que aconteceu? Porque elas baniram um dos melhores mapas delas. E aí, ela falou que a escolha da Bind... Poxa, elas também mandam bem na Bind, mas aparentemente não hoje. Não foi o dia delas de Bind. E agora fica pra outro mapa o posto de melhor delas. So, thank you very much and congrats once more.
Thank you so much.
E é isso aí, é com vocês, meus amores.
Thank you so much for the interview. I mean, the crowd never disappoints. Still, let's go, Petra. I mean, G2 managing to close this one out. And I think this was not the easiest one of feats, Kakuga, because, I mean, we heard it from Petra. Bind is a really good map, just not today.
I just love it. I think that we were talking about it. Like, if you were to ask Petra, what are your favorite maps? She'd be like, well, there's Bind.
Okay.
There's Haven.
All right,
Haven is a map. There's definitely Split. Ascent. Icebox and Breeze, obviously. Then you have Fracture. You have Pearl. We love Lotus.
Okay.
Sunset is also very fun.
All right.
They'd be like that. No. But I think she does have a point. They practice different things, and by learning and getting to know a different version of G2 goes in in every single different tournament, she's right. I mean, she's definitely right.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it today, and we were also touching upon the debut from Petra on the Jet. Lisa, we were talking about the Omen from Sarah, but all in all, I felt like once we got onto this Haven, G2 just found their footing, whereas on the side of SMG, they just ran out a little bit of steam.
Yeah, to me, SMG was not playing as they usually do, and I think that is normal since they're losing for the first time today in maps and just in general. I think it's a normal reaction, and if they really learn with this loss today, they're gonna come back great, honestly. Yeah. And also Petra on the Jet. Oh my God, Jet diff. We were talking about. You were right.
I was so scared about it, and I'm just gonna double down on what I said. It's like if Petra goes into a map, she debuts on Jet out of all the agents on Jet and diffs the other Jet. I have to say that Eneri was definitely up there.
Really?
I cannot by any means disrespect what SMG did today. I think that Alexi was onto something. Like the value she finds in so many occasions. I can say the same for Kohibi. I'm very, very happy about the performance that they've had. But honestly, it might have been Roxy's birthday, but this is a Petra appreciation party.
Yeah.
Because what she is giving us this tournament, and it's just been 2 days. I am just not ready for the next one.
I mean, G2 keeps showing up time and time again, and I think for SMG, something that we also touched upon was the fact that learning to fail on this international stage is something that they're gonna have to deal with. But again, when we're looking at how this matchup went and how close it actually was, in terms of the amount of multi-kills that both of these teams were able to bring to the table, I mean, do I have to spoil it? Am I going to be spoiling it? Well, it's 54 for SMG and 51 for G2. These are multi-kills within the last 3 maps. That it just further highlights, Kakuga, how incredibly close this actually was.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it mostly highlights that, you know, most of the players, when we say all of the players, have had their moment to shine and to actually carry the round and have an extra added effect that they could have just plainly. I know that whomever is watching from home, especially the Game Changers teams, have to be very scared of both these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to really, really look forward to. But it's time for a HyperX Reflex moment of the day. And this is going to be going to BBL's Ava. I mean, I remember seeing this, jumping out of the chairs. I remember you screaming in the green room.
Yes, but I scream to everything. I'm Spanish and I literally come here to work and I don't even have a voice on day one. But yeah, the way that Eva flicks onto everything, selecting the enemies. But this bullet is a little bit of a BS.
Yeah.
Whatever that was, you know, Valorant, you've been there, I've been there.
It's a tactical shooter.
Your brother has been there. There is a lot of, tactics going on. That was actually beautiful. And she just, the moment that she gets the last one, she's defused and she turns around and be like, that was me.
Lisa, what is her aim routine, do you think?
I don't know.
It has to be crazy.
I think it's talent with Miracle and
that's a good mix.
Yeah.
Just I don't
just
know.
like a sprinkle everything in a little bit here and there.
And Turkish.
And
a little bit of Turkish blood on top.
Absolutely.
And Turkish, yes.
That always goes so well.
It was absolutely incredible. But so far, we have had 2 days of gameplay, and that means that our bracket is slowly but surely taking a little bit of a fill. So when we're looking at today's matchups towards the BBL up against SR, that was an incredible one that we're going to be looking into, okay?
Man, I just don't know how we're 2 days into the competition and G2's already in the semifinal.
Surprise! Yay! I mean, looking at the lower bracket as well.
Who wrote the script?
Someone from EMEA, maybe. I just want to have a talk, you know? But looking at the matchups that we have coming up next, I think SR up against BBL Queens, that is going to be one of the ages.
You think that's crazy?
Yeah.
Just look at literally the first one. As we're looking at the schedule that we have tomorrow, look at the first one. That is EG versus Team Liquid. Tomorrow, on the first match, we're going to be sending home, because this is already an elimination match, either NA Seed 1 or the home team.
That kind of Sag.
And G2 is already in the semifinal. I don't know who's writing this.
I'm gonna have to put you here on the spot and ask if you have a prediction that you would like to make for that first game.
Obviously, I do. Obviously, my girlies, Team Liquid, are gonna win. Yes.
Is it gonna be like a close match? It's gonna be 2-0. What are we thinking? Or do you not want to go that far?
I don't know. G2 yesterday didn't seem like they normally do. I don't know. To me, it's not gonna be close. No, Team Liquid is just gonna slay.
They're gonna slay.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we're gonna find that out tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be do or die. We're gonna be sending 2 teams home and one is gonna be heading into the semifinals up against G2 Gozen. Make sure you tune back in, same time, same place tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Have a great night. See you then.
Mel alone has played more matches than all of EDG combined, but on this stage, anything can happen. I think it might be closer than we think.
Low on HP, while out in the open, Mel takes care of her. It's a double for the leader, and Shopify up to 5 on the trot. They are eons away from this spike, and with that smoke in play, it's a wide swing for Noya. Disgusting work from the Dane, and the sticks coming through. There's nothing that Wawa Lee can do. It's a perfect shot onto the first. Poor Blue, stuck in a corner with nothing to do, and Floor will keep it going. 13-1 over EDG to start their international run here in Brazil. Rely on solo plays, guys. We need to be a coordinated team. But some tells me he's not too mad about this outcome. Floor, another. She's just unstoppable. 3 kills in the second round. Alexis sustaining with great utility. Noya swings. And there was moments of hope, but in a 1v3, surely there's not a chance when you're up against Noya. 4 kills for her. Blue starts things off for EDG, but Alexis will siege back into the site and find 2 kills. Noya is just behind, and Shopify have A on lock. Shopify Rebellion enter the international stage with dominance. Only 3 rounds lost as they send Edward Gaming to the lower bracket.
Both of these teams are coming into this tournament with a lot of pressure, with a lot of ambitions, with a lot of revenge. But also, I think all of the teams just seems to be friends with each other. They do the walkouts together, they have their little dances, and it's so beautiful to see.
And a shredded step on the other end, though, for BBL. They have opportunities, and still, the TP to spun Alkia. Counts the timing once again. Beautifully done, and that is a 1v2. For me, that's the Red Bull clutch. That high-low is still too good, and a crossfire even more beautiful for Crew Esports. And that only leaves one more player. What a flick from Eva on that spike, sticking it halfway, goes up for the swing, and lands that shot as well. Eva! She's going back into sight for BBL, so it has to be the showstopper, but it misses. Eva moving forward. All-star players so far, Seekers on a 1v1, and now we're jiggling on both ends. Another tap, play mind games, lands another shot, and BBL Queens take the first map. Wentz moves forward to trade it right back. The crossfire is still really nice though for Crew, and the advantage still continues, still remains for Crew. So Rolling Thunder, there it is. It's coming out right now. Showstopper on the other end as well, just to try to answer back. But Felipe is the one that's holding it through towards the sands. There for Crew, 2 players holding towards the showers. Vanya, though, is still alive towards the U-Haul. Orbital Strike not used, 12 HP remaining, and a jumping right-click classic off the assist on the flash. 4 kills for Vanya within the round. And BBL will take the series!
What a way to end this series!
Who needs fist bumps when you can just play rock, paper, scissors, okay? Winner takes it all, losers goes home. But that is not what it is, because we're gonna have to settle this one on the server.
Better watch out. You better not cry.
You better not, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, a great response from the previous round, getting the opener onto Kahibi, and yeah, she's plucked out of the sky. Oh my gosh, Alexi does it! 3 on the round, the 4th! Had no shot! G2 have to continue to push the pace because they've got it. Well, again, it doesn't matter. Another 3K for Kamiyu.
And Neri rounding the round out with 4 kills.
SMG continue their dominance. It wasn't just domestic. It wasn't just yesterday. A 1-0 lead on a beautiful performance. It's all on to Roxy. A 1v4. Holy smokes. Time is short, though. This has to be fast. 1 around for Roxy. They're both so weak. That's the first to fall. The second does too. 61 HP amongst both, and Kahaimi laughs in the face of it. There it is. The first, Roxy on the second, and Ari left in a 1v2. Are they going to just double face? Is it going to be too many targets for him to deal with? Yes, it will be.
Let's go, let's go!
They do it in style, complete disrespect. And that's what takes us to Haven. 14-12 in favor of G2, and this series is not done yet. How is she not taking any damage? Spike sitting harmlessly on the ground, and Sarah's there to swing at just the right time. Roxy joins, and that's a 3-round lead for G2. Oh no, finally settling, getting both. So they are going to trade it out. That's not going to land. Lance lands a shot, and that's another round in favor of G2. She stinks, she's dead. How much more patient will she be? Sarah wasn't able to get anything on off. Petra with 4. What a debut in the face of a streak with the weight of a defending champion on their shoulders. G2 take down SMG.
Still wanted you.
Hello, hello. It is I. It is I. I'm ready to play a video game. Play some good video games right now. Let's see. I need to make sure my thing is open. Open up my chat. Pop out. Give me 1 second. I can't see chat just yet. I can see Twitch chat. I can't see YouTube chat yet. Give me a quick second. All right, there you go. Hello. Mouse am I? What mouse am I? I'm on the Lamzu Atlantis Mini right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey everyone. If in your honest opinion, wait, hold on. In your honest opinion, if a penguin and a duck were to fight to the death, who would come out victorious? That is the most easiest one. Penguin would fuck a duck up, and it's not even close. You know that penguins, they're flippers. They aren't soft. They're really fucking hard, and they're like made of bone, and so they can really like beat the shit out of you. And also they're big. Like a penguin weighs more than a duck. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Kade, right? I know. Let's see. Real quick. Sorry. Give me a quick second. The new map rotation. With the new acts, no, there's not gonna be a new map. It's just gonna be ISO, the cipher changes, and I'm not sure what else. Do you think? Wait, how long until the act closes? 6 hours. Do you think technically I could get this much XP in that time? No, it needs to be done. It actually needs to be done. Never mind. It's not a matter. It's not a matter if it can be done. It has to be done. What's the name of those $60 IEMs? They're called the Truth Year X Clinical Zero Reds. They're probably, I would actually say they're probably the best like semi-budget gaming IEMs on the market. Like they were really, really good. The only thing I noticed is everything seems a little bit quieter, but I'm also comparing it to my Blessing 3s, which are $300 versus those, which are $60. And then also another thing about this, or wait, no, sorry, another thing about this. I don't suggest you get the SC 846, like the $900 in-ears, the IEMs that I was using previously, because those I would say are really, really big.